Yo, everybody, good to see you. Hope you're all having a good day. Hi, my name is Lampy Smoke, and I'm an illustrated football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We are going to be continuing the fire animation. We're nearly done, and then we got to put a PNG right in front of it. I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And I see that Glass Shark already redeemed the thing. So you know what we got to do. We gotta do the thing. I knew that one was going to be one of those redeems where someone just immediately just jumps the shark, no pun intended. But I didn't expect y'all folks to notice it that quickly. But, well, since you did, there you go. See? It's still a redeem. It still counts. Okay, and it's going away. I hope you enjoyed. No pun fully intended. True. And good to see you there, Ryu. Good to see you there, Glass Shark. I hope you're all having a good day. And now that redeem is done, I'm gonna put it away because now nobody knows that it's gonna pop up. And for 1 second, or for one channel point, I think it popping up for like a good 30 seconds is well, like definitely worth the points. But yeah. How is everybody else doing? I know I was here yesterday, but you never know. I hope the day or night has been well for y'all folks. All right. Although, funny enough, I knew it was too good to be true. Yeah, it is April after all. And of course, I'm not going to put the redeem to one channel point unless we reach that one goal over there. But outside of that, I wouldn't make it that easy. I wouldn't make it that simple. I wouldn't be giving y'all folks Christmas in April. Wait, I think I was supposed to do that. I think I was supposed to just celebrate Christmas again, but I forgot. Oh well. There's always next April. Next April, I'll just throw Christmas out there again. But yeah. Oops. Oh, hey, I can push the button twice. Oh, that's going to work wonders later. But yeah, for right now, this is what we currently have for the fire. There were 3, when I ended the stream last time, there were still 3 more frames to finish adding the yellow to. But I thought it's going to be a while before I get back to this animation. And let's be honest, it's just adding yellow to the fire. So, and I had already done that like 6 other times in the previous streams. And I feel like we've all seen enough of that already. So I decided to take the initiative and finish off the last 3 frames off stream. It's not like you missed anything. You already saw me do this. Like I said, you already saw me do this 6 other times. So what's 3 more? So I decided to do those 3 off screen. So, now that we got all of that out of the way, we can actually move on to a new part of the project. Now, what is the new part of the project? Well, here's what we got next. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we need to see. What we gotta do is get the shade of yellow. Let's find let's find one of these yellows. There we go. Let's get that shade of yellow. And we're actually going to bring it up a bit. We're going to bring it to a much brighter shade. There we go. What's 18 more years? No, wait, let me see. Let me try to remember how the... Oh, that's what it was. What's 18 more years? Boom. I can always start again. Boom. Make another cult. I mean... Wait, no, wait, I gotta check that last part. I didn't say that last part. Nobody saw that. Nobody heard that. There's only like, what? A handful of people here. No one's gonna believe what I just said, right? Anyway. What did I just join in on? Hey! Destroyer, you didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear a word. You heard nothing. Understand? All folks are gaslighting me. That's what's happening here. Anyway, let's give a shout out to Destroyer. They play a good variety of games. They're actually the person we're making this emote for. Let's completely backtrack on what was just said. Let's completely avoid that right now. Anyway, so we're moving on to the next step with the flames. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we need to set up. Like I said, we need a brighter shade of the yellow. And I'm going to show you the shade that we currently have for this. That's our current shade, but I think we could go brighter than that. Let's go brighter than that. Much brighter. That circle right there, that is the color we're going to use for this. It's not too strong, but it's not... Yeah, it's not too strong, but it's noticeable enough. And that's exactly what we needed for this part. Now, why did we need a slightly brighter yellow? And where are we zooming so far out? Because we need to take this giant circle. Rebo Lord, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Nice name. What brought you in here, if you don't mind me asking? Permission to post a link. I guess that depends. What is the link that you're planning on posting? And thank you for asking. Is that a Karibo with a gun? A clip? Yeah, by all means. Okay, I forgot to say. Okay, so if it is a clip from here... Okay, I guess I should clarify on that one, because I know I had a feeling this was going to pop up, and I should have thought this through. Okay, so if it's a clip from here, by all means, drop it when... You know what? Maybe I should backtrack on this statement. Maybe I should backtrack on that statement. But anyway, if you feel like posting a clip that you just made here, by all means, drop the clip if you have VIP. If you don't have VIP, it's probably got to get shot, but yeah. It's just other clips outside of Twitch that I feel like, you know, those ones should be asked for permission. Clips, I think you're fine. You're good. Well, except for maybe that one. I found out about the free Karibo model and saw you were streaming. Hey, nice. I'm glad you like the Karibo model. Also, if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. Because I know that there were some... I know sometimes these models, like, some people get a little confused about certain things, so I usually try to explain them as best as I possibly can. All right, so now that we got all of that done, here's the next step. What we're going to do is make a new layer. And we're not even going to name that layer. It'll be fine. We're just going to put OK. We're also going to put a clipping mask on that fire. Oh, wait. Let me see what I could do about this. All right, I have an idea on how I could sort out the yellow flame. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to select the orange. Select everything around the orange. Go to the yellow. Unclip that yellow. And then delete everything around it. Now, there's a specific reason why we need to do that for every single one of these frames. Or maybe not. That wouldn't be too easy. Okay, I got another idea how we could do this. We're just going to add the bright circle to all of this yellow. Or to all of the flames. And we're going to keep them in their clipping mask, so we don't have to worry about any extra stuff. That is a lot of Karibo emote. I like that stuff. That's pretty awesome. I take it you are a Yu-Gi-Oh fan or possibly just a Karibo fan. Which, honestly, either option is very valid. But yeah, so here's what we're going to do. So we got our giant circle. We're going to put the sharpness of that circle to 0. So this will give us a fine gradient. Now, before we do anything else, though, I'm going to show you something. I always like to let everyone know about this little trick. If you are on PC and you want to get a very nice gradient on whatever digital art you're working with, you're not going to want to use your pen tablet for this. If you're trying to get a very strong, gradient, you're not going to want to use your pen for this. Because as you can see, lightly tapping it, the gradient's going to be somewhat okay, but it's not going to be the best. And if you put a lot of pressure, you could get a decent gradient, but that's also going to put a lot of struggle on, you might potentially damage your tablet like that. So, how do we get a strong gradient without damaging our tablet? Well, what you're going to need to do is get your old clicker, get the mouse, drag it down to the bottom, make sure that the top half of the circle is up there, and just click. And boom, we got our gradient. But let's say that circle was too big and that gradient was a little too strong. Let's backtrack on that a little bit. Bring that circle a little bit lower. Just keep on clicking until you think you got everything just right. If you think it's a little off, go back to a point that doesn't have all of that. Or you could either just backtrack on all of this as well. But what I'm going to do is make the circle a lot bigger. Drag it down a little bit further. Just click on the bottom. Make the circle a little smaller. Click some more. And we should be good with that. Now we got our gradient. And honestly, there's another way we could go about this. There's a couple other options. Alright, let's see. I'm both a Yu-Gi-Oh! And Karibo fan. Ah, fair, fair, fair. Then you'll fit right in there, friend. Karibo? Alright, we gotta add a Karibo to the screen. Give me 1 second. And as for some of you that already know, if you put exclamation point KOFI, you could actually get this Karibo for absolutely nothing. Right, it starts with a U first. Karibo. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Koribo. But yeah, you can get your very own Karibo for no charge at all. Use it for your Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams. Use it for whatever stream. If you just need a Karibo, boom, there you go. And as you can see, it's also got wings for the wing Karibo part. It's also got the spin for no particular reason. I just wanted it to spin. You can also set a standard or just use a blank how do I put it? There is a way to shut it down. If I'm correct, there's still a video for that. But basically, in order for you to get rid of the wings or to get rid of the spin and just leave it as a standard Karibo, what you would need to do is register one. Register one of those. How do I put it? Well, you don't exactly have to. Let's get to the main point. In order to get rid of that, all you would really need to do is essentially reset the. How do I put it? Reset the. Let me look at the word again. Keep forgetting what it is. Reset the idle animation. That's the one. If there's an idle motion, just register. Yeah, you either shut that one down, just leave it blank, and you can even make a. What's the word I'm looking for? I can never remember words to save my life for some reason. I can never remember the technical terms, if that makes any sense. So, what you got to do is you can also make one of those hotkeys. If you don't know what a hotkey is, it's basically turning one of your buttons into a specific action on whatever program it is, or one of your keys. And in this case, you could turn in my case, I basically turned my number 2 key on my number pad into basically just reset the idle animations, because the wings and the spin are technically idle animations. What are idle animations? Those are basically animations that just go on a loop constantly, but it basically becomes your model's permanent animation. And like I said, if you just set up a hotkey that leaves that idle animation blank, it all goes away. So there you go. Funny enough, there's a video, if I'm correct, there's a video on the YouTube that explains it a whole lot faster and a whole lot better. So if you wanted to help with that, go check out the YouTube. There'll be a video right there. All right, let's see. I just got back on Twitch and figured I might stream again. Yo, that's what's up. And follow. There we go. I'm wishing you the best of luck on your stream journey. And always remember, don't put too much pressure on yourself, but market everywhere. Or if you're doing it just as a hobby, then, you know, sit back and chill. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. All right, let me see. We're going to lock in that Karibo. We're going to leave them right there. And now let's go back over to this spot. Where did I put it? Photoshop. There we go. Now that we got that frame, let's go to frame number 2. Go over there. Clipping mask. Click 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There we go. Now off to frame 3. Do the exact same thing. Just keep on clicking. Oh, this is supposed to be at 100%. I don't know why it's not giving me the full strength. There we go. Much better. Oh. Let's backtrack a little bit. I forgot to put a transparency lock on that. Save that one right there. Go back over to frame 4. No, wait, frame 3. Transparency lock on that. Then we start clicking on these suckers. 1, 2, 3. And we're good. Back to frame 4. Or the next one. Transparency lock on that. 1, 2, 3. Always remember that transparency lock unless you want to make a horrible mistake like I just did not long ago. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. What frame is this? Number 5. Okay, this is definitely going a lot faster. In comparison to how it was last time, definitely moving a lot faster. Go to number 5. Frame lock there. Wait, is this not frame number 5? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, off to number 6. Transparency lock that sucker. Click with the gradient brush. Specifically click to get that smooth gradient right there. I have a question about VTube Studio. I want to use my phone as a camera, but I need the Pro version in order for me to do so. Which DLC on Steam do I buy to get that feature? Okay, that's a tricky one, because from what I'm seeing, in order for you to use your phone, you need the Pro version on your phone, if I am correct. Because I myself have been looking into that ever since I got that iPhone for the camera, or for the PC. And from what I've been looking at, I looked everywhere. I too was trying to figure out, how do I use my phone as a camera instead? And all I keep getting on videos is, you're going to need to get your phone, download VTube Studio, buy the Pro version. And I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm trying to use it as just a camera. I don't want VTube on the thing. So honestly, as much as I hate to say it, your guess is as good as mine. And this is the worst part, because okay, to be fair, I've also just been learning how to use the camera stuff right now. But I am still looking more into it. I'm going to try to get more details about it. And I'm going to see... Oh, you know what I just realized that I never asked? Or that I never tried looking into? How to use my phone as a camera on the PC. And just completely ignore VTube Studio. Like, don't ask. I think I got an idea. I'm going to try to find out later today. How do I get VTube Studio? How do I get my phone to work as a camera for the PC without asking about VTube Studio? Because every time I ask about VTube Studio, They tell me, well, first you got to download it on your phone. I'm like, now what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Karibo has a cursed mouth, too. I keep forgetting about that part. All right, there we go. Which is funny, because the moment I was working on that, I was like, okay, let me try to set that, or let me also talk about that cursed Karibo mount, because that's going to be a good one. But then I got distracted by the whole how you set up the reset for the animation. Hold on a minute, we missed a spot. Just realized this entire thing right there. Good to know. Let's put the transparency lock and click and click and click. Keep on clicking at the bottom there. There we go, that should be good. All right, I have a software that allows me to use my phone as a desktop webcam. Ah, okay. Okay, I want to use my phone as a camera, but I need the Pro version in order for me to do so. Which DLC on Steam do I buy to get that feature? Okay, so also, in order to use the Pro version, there should be a specific one. Let me see right quick. There should be exactly three. Yeah, if I'm correct, there should be exactly 2 DLCs. One of them is to stream with multiple people, or to have multiple stream model. Okay, not multiple stream models. How do I explain this? Multiple streamers using VTube Studio at the same time. That's not the one you want. That's not Pro version. That's just an added feature. The one that basically the one that says that it removes the little flying figure in the bottom right corner. Whichever one gets rid of that, that's the Pro version. Google AI says remove watermark. Yeah, basically that's what the Pro version one does. The Pro version removes the watermark. And honestly, I would say for that part, I wouldn't stress that one too much. Yeah, I wouldn't stress VTube Studio too much with that part. I'll wait for a sale. I'm still setting up my software and stuff. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, there we go. All right, so how do I put it? There's a lot of different ways to look at this. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me see something. Let me see something. It says you need a pro version for that, but there might be another way to do so. If you could already get your camera registered as a, if you could already get your phone registered as camera, let me see something. There might be another way to go about this. Let me go to this one. Okay, so I'm muted. What do you know? All right, let's try that again. So, now that I read everything that you just said, I think the best option that you can do would be, well, one, let's turn our camera back on. Let's close all of this. Put the plug back where it was. Let's open the camera again. So, you're muted, by the way. I don't know if you know. Unfortunately, I did not know. I thought I picked the right one for that. Okay, so, going back to it. So, I see that it's the app on your phone that is telling you... Yeah, basically your app on your phone is telling you you can only stay on it for 5 minutes unless you get Pro. I would suggest getting the VTube Studio on your PC and seeing if you can have your phone count as a camera on the PC instead. Don't have the phone have VTube Studio on it. Just try to plug your phone into your PC and have it count as, or see if you could get it to count as a camera. Because VTube Studio on the PC is free, and you can still have it do all the features without... Yeah, you could basically still have it do all the features without having to pay for anything, and you won't get logged out every 5 minutes, because that only worked, or the only reason... Actually, I don't even know the reason why it does that on the phone app. But yeah, long story short, get it on your PC and try to register the phone by itself as a camera, and maybe that'll work. Gun. Thank you for redeeming gun. And if that don't work, then that's going to be a tricky situation. But but basically, as far as I know, yeah, the phone... I don't know what it is with the phone, but they make it a lot more complicated on the phone. I hope that helped in some way, shape, or form. Also, Sweets It All, welcome on in. Oh, Lampy was muted, and here I thought he was just laser focused on drawing. Yeah, no, I wasn't even drawing. I was mostly talking about the VTube Studio stuff. That helped, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Also, if all else fails, I will definitely say there might be some very, very affordable cameras. For example, the camera I'm using for my the camera I'm using for my tracking is actually only like 14 to 25 bucks. However, I'm still trying to figure out how to make the iPhone work. Although I will also say there is also one other issue I'm currently... This is a personal issue on this one. Like, currently my iPhone does not... It doesn't want to function all the time. Every time I try to, update it, get it started, get it moving again, for some reason, it wants to tell me, oh yeah, your phone is messed up. You have to update it. And I update it. It works after a while. And then it says, oh, nope, it's busted again. And so I update it one more time. And now I've gotten to a point where now it doesn't even want to register. It doesn't even want to count that it's on. If that makes any sense. Does the camera resolution really matter for a webcam? Okay, the camera resolution only really matters if you're actually showing your face. That's usually what the camera resolution is for. Now, there's a reason why the iPhone or one of those really expensive cameras actually make more of a difference in comparison to a $20 camera. And that's usually for the fact that they got like this special feature called deep face tracking, I think it is. I don't know the exact words. But I know they got like some sort of special technology in their phones that tracks your face better. But under most circumstances, especially if you're starting, or more importantly, if you're using that Karibo model right there, you're not going to need the fanciest of cameras to track you. You just need something that actually tracks. And most webcams can do that. Most webcams are capable of doing that. Again, like I said, the camera I'm using, just a $20 camera, $15 camera. I forgot how much it was, but as you can see, it looks up, looks to the side, looks down, and the only issue that I'm really realizing is that my eyes don't work, apparently. Although, let me see something actually. I know there's another feature that you could add to VTube Studio if you have a PC that can actually work with it. Hold on. We're going to turn off the camera right quick. We're going to go to level 5 tracking. That was the best one, but we also got NVIDIA. We're going to select that. Put the camera back on. Calibrate. And well, there we go. Sometimes it's also the tracking settings. As you can see, the eyes work a little bit better. They're not fidgeting. They're not breaking on me every single second. So yeah, there you go. I hope that helps. Don't redeem the maid redeem? All right, that's fair. Here you go. Welcome on in there, iNotSiri. Hope you're having a good day. Wow, I know, right? Thank you. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, there was a maid redeem, and that people really wanted that one. And since it was April 1st, I was like, you know what? Let me give them what the people want. The people want this. So yeah. I'm so impressed. I'm glad to hear that. Also, let's give a shout out to iNotSiri. Go check them out when you get the chance. They play a good variety of games. It's a really chill time over there. Really awesome people. All right, now let me go back over here and switch out the NVIDIA settings, because though it works great for face tracking, for my current model, like the Moth model, it makes the movement a little too wonky for my liking. So we're going to go back to the regular one. We're going to go back to the regular settings. So let's turn off camera again. Put that back to level 5. If I ever get a model that actually has a face, like an actual face, then I would probably go for the RTX on, if possible. But if you don't have a model that has a face kind of thing, then this works just fine. But there's also many other ways you could fix up the settings. But for right now, I think this works just fine. All right, let's close all of that. How are you? I'm doing all right. I've just been thinking of a lot of plans, and I also realized I may have been working on one too many things. I gotta slow it down a little bit. I got a lot of plans, but I don't have all the time to implement all those plans, or the mental energy to implement all those plans. So I need to slow things down a bit and ready myself for future projects. But at the moment, okay, there we go. There we go. Now we got the fire roaring. And this is just the first step. We're still not even done. We still got a couple more things that we can add. For example, let's go back to the red flame. Let's go back to frame 1 over here. And I'm going to make a new layer. This time we can actually make a new layer that'll actually stick, and we can actually repeat this process multiple times. So we're going to get that red. Yeah, we're going to get that orange. Bring it up just a slight smidge. Make it a little bit brighter too. There we go. This should be decent enough. We're going to make our brush really large. Actually bring this down a little bit. And on our new layer, we're just going to add some orange right there. Wrong one. Supposed to be this one. Add a little bit there. Add a little bit there. And that should be good. And now that we made this new layer, I'm going to show you a little trick. Actually, you know what? Let's bring the flames down just a little bit more. Let's make this circle a little bit smaller. And always remember, make sure that your circle is very soft. Make it sure it's a soft edge. That gives you a nice gradient. And don't use your pen tablet. Use your clicker for that. Click. Click. Also, did the music just stop? Yeah, music just stopped. Let's bring that back. There we go. And now that we got that flame going, now that we just added a little bit of brightness to the bottom half, we might also be able to do something else. Well, yeah, we could do a little bit more. Let's go back to that orange. Make it slightly more red. And do not worry, folks. I will catch up to the reading soon enough. I just want to add a little bit more tint to this sucker. Just add a little more, a slightly more red to the top end. Because, for those of you that don't know, fire, it's usually very, very bright at its strongest of sources. As soon as it starts to get weaker, you know, the color starts to dim. So instead of being a bright yellow, it starts to, you know, tone down to a dark red. So that's exactly what we're doing right here. We're adding that dark red to the tint. Yo, Maryland, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate that. Moth with a shotgun? I've seen it all. Indeed. If you think that's... Oh, yeah, also... Oh, Karibo Lord, if you think that's everything, just wait till you see the mech. But first, let's give a shout out to Mary Lamb. Welcome on in there, Mary Lamb. How you be? I hope you're having a good day. Folks, go check out Mary Lamb. They do the artins. They work on a lot of crazy projects. Like the little gummy characters. I love that design. That looks amazing. Little candy popsicle thing, or yeah, like little lollipops things. They do amazing, yeah, they do amazing projects. It's a very hilarious time, very chaotic. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. Okay, let me see. So the camera resolution. Okay, in the 5 minutes I was connected to my phone, it worked great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. But yeah, see, that's the issue with the VTube Studio is that it doesn't work. Oh right, I almost forgot. I forgot to mention. Everybody stopping by for Mary Lamb stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Today, we are currently working on some fire animation. I'm going to try to finish this emote today. Cotton Candy Sheep? Yes. We're going to work on this. We're going to try to finish off the rendering of the flames in this emote, and we're going to try to finish off the PNG. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish off the PNG, but we're certainly going to try. And if you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm proud that you can see that. Oh, let's see. I'm proud that you can see that in. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's one of those things where you don't see it until your body tells you, yeah, no, it's time to stop. It's time to chill. And I didn't want to accept that the first time around, but sometimes you just gotta accept what you gotta accept. And this was one of those situations where I had to understand, like, yeah, it's time to accept that this ain't how this works. You just gotta let it go. Let it go, let it go. All the rest of that word stuff, you know the rest. Okay, so not this stuff. Let's backtrack on that a little bit more. Add a little more red there, a little more red there, a little more red up here, and we're good. Now, let's go to... Actually, we don't even need to go to frame 2. I'm going to show you a nifty little trick. Since this is all set up on its own PNG, or on its own layer, I'm going to show you something. Unlike last time, where we had to add the lighting to each and every one of those layers, I'm going to show you something right here. If you... Okay, actually, we're going to need to move this right quick so you can see it. Here are our layers. And unlike last time, like last time, we had to put the brightness on each and every one of those yellow layers. But as you can see right here, we're able to set up a brand new layer where we didn't have to add anything else. So, that whole new layer is its own separate thing, but is contained within the orange. Now, why does that matter? I'm going to show you why. Because instead of having to go through each and every one of these frames and add it manually, like we did with the brightness on the yellow, we could just take that layer, drag it into each and every other yellow or each and every other orange flame. And since this is all the way at the top, you could actually see us doing this in real time. Take that orange, hold the Alt key or the equivalent, drag it to the next frame or drag it to the next layer. Do it again, copy, drag it to the next layer, drag it to the next layer, drag it to the next layer. So instead of us having to do everything manually, you will now see that the flame effect is there on all of them now. And we didn't even have to do anything other than just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and boom, look at that flame. Also, in case you were wondering what did it look like before, I'm going to show you. This is what we have now. Oh, you know what I can do? So I don't mess anything up, because I definitely want to save right here. Let's save. I'm gonna go get the original flame. This is how it started. Or yeah, this is how the flame started today. This is what we had. Not bad. Very bright. Very cool, I think. It's a decent flame. It's a good starting point. I want you to get a good look at that. Take a good look at that flame for a good 5 seconds. Not gonna lie, it's a little hypnotic when you really think about it. This is why people commit arson. Because sometimes the fire is a little beautiful. Anyway, now that we looked at the fire long enough, after we added the other rendering effects to it, this is what we have now. And not gonna lie, definitely a lot more vibrant. Definitely stands out a lot more in comparison to what we originally had. Which, don't get me wrong, like I said, the original one, not so bad. Pretty decent animation, but with a little bit of rendering, with a little bit of gradients, adding it to the flames, now makes it pop out a lot more. That yellow definitely looks like it has a lot more energy behind it. That flame, the bottom half, yeah, again, just basically, it looks like it has a lot more energy. It's definitely popping out more in comparison to what we had here, which still bright yellow, looks like fire. Now it's got intensity. And granted, we could go many other different ways about it. We can actually add a glow to the outside if we wanted to, but I think we're going to leave the glow on the outside alone. We're just going to keep it like this. I think this works as is. All right, let's see. Now I want to save up for that Marvel Rivals redeem. Why? Why, Neon Honeybee? Also, welcome on in there, Neon Honeybee. Hope you're having a good day. Why does everybody want me to play Marvel Rivals? There was a specific reason why I put it at a ridiculously high price, so I wouldn't have to play Marvel Rivals. Like, okay, so funny story. The first time it ever popped up, people were asking, like, so you gonna play Marvel Rivals? I'm like, I'm not playing Overwatch again. You can't make me. And then, someone said, like, hey, so as a redeem, or yeah, I forgot how it went, but I was talking to folks trying to figure out what sort of goals, what sort of redeem we could get. And someone mentioned, you want to play Marvel Rivals? And I'm like, tell you what, y'all want me to play Marvel Rivals? Boom, there's the asking price. And I highly doubt this can happen. I haven't been proven wrong yet on anything that reaches over 1,000. If it reaches over 1,000, I know that I'm gonna be safe. That's why I went for a ridiculous price now. So I know we're never gonna reach that point. Ain't nobody dropping 9K just for me to play Marvel Rivals. That's also what to be fair, that's also what I thought when I thought, ain't no one dropping 1,000K just for a maid emote. I was horribly wrong about that one, but so far, ever since that, I've been on a good track record. Outside of that one, yeah, ever since that one major mishap and major underestimation, been on a good track since then. No one's been able to get past the other ridiculous numbers that I've been putting now, because now I know better. $1,000 ain't enough to deter people. It needs to be 5K. And up. And just to be safe, put it above 7K. And you'll be safe. That's what I've learned right now. 5K is a lot. So let's put it beyond that. And we'll be good. I haven't been proved wrong about that part yet, so I should be okay since. Smells delicious. I know, right? You could smell, yeah, you could smell what the rock is cooking. You can smell the hickory. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Or the charcoal. Either one. If only we can pool our points into one. I know, right? But too bad. Too bad. Wait, what points? Also, Neon Honeybee, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. Hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. All right, off to the next step. Now that we got all the flame done, what we're going to need to do is bring all of this down. Like, shorten the... Yeah, basically shorten the image here. Or, you know, shorten the amount of layers, because we got a lot of freaking layers. That's 3 times 9. That's about 27 layers right there. We don't want to see all 27 layers. So how do we go about that? We're just going to go up here. We're going to click on that. And we're going to look for something that says new group from layers. Click on that. And then just name it. And we're going to name it Fire. Boom. Now all the fire is contained within one folder. Now let's go back to frame 1. And this part's going to be relatively easy. We just got to draw a figure. We got to draw a very scuffed figure. We got to draw them kind of looking like Elmo. Let me go find an image right quick. Oh, I forgot to put this on the Discord. Whoops. There we go. Wait, did I put that in any of the other socials? Probably not. You know what? That's okay. All right, I got to go send an outro, or I got to send a PNG later. But yeah, I got to remember to send that PNG at the end of the day. What other thing was I trying to do again? Right. I need to go find a couple of images right quick. Got to scroll back a little bit. There's the image. This is what I needed. And since I can't really save the GIF, I'm just going to get that screenshot. Save right there. Save that on the desktop. We're going to bring this image right over here so I can see it better. Just going to toss that sucker right over there. That's going to be our little reference. Let's also put the opacity on that down a little bit. Then make the new layer, because now we got to make Destroyer. I also need to get that screenshot of Destroyer as well. Give me 1 second there, folks. We need to get some resources that I kind of overlooked earlier. Shouldn't be too many. We just got to get 1 PNG image. Oh, you know what I could do? All right, here's the crazy idea. Let's get that PNG out here. So this was an animation we did earlier for a Destroyer, and they mentioned that they wanted this image, this design of theirs. Let me show you what I mean. This was an animation we did for them before, and we're gonna need one of these images that they have, or one of the frames that we made for them to use as a reference. So let's find one where they're raising the chair into the sky, because that is the one we're gonna need for this. That part right there works perfectly. Honestly, this one should be good. Let's drag that over here. Pull this down. We're also going to reduce the opacity on this sucker as well. And you know what? We might just want to get rid of the fire for now. We'll come back to the flame later on. We'll hide the fire for the moment. Let's put OK. Let's close that there. All right, let's see. Hi, Lampy. Yo, Mattias, welcome on in. How you be? I hope things are well. I hope things are good. Let's give you a shout out. Folks, go check out Mattias. They're a TV head. Really awesome people. They play a good variety of games. All sorts of insanity over there. And overall, really swell people. There you go. All right, so now that we got these two images, let's get started on the sketch. We're going to just call this D. Now that we got all of that done, let's put the sharpness of our brush back to 100 so we have a pretty solid line. Let's also get rid of the colors that we have here and put them back to a standard black and white. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. No, thank you for stopping by. All right, so next step. We just got to make that simple little emote that they got going on there. We're just going to make the sketch for now and then work our way up. Because definitely shows that we got our work cut out for us. Because even though it's going to be a funny little meme, we still got to make a funny little meme mech. Which means we still got to put some work into this mech. Now, I will say this, as I always like to say, when it comes to a sketch, don't sweat the details too much. Don't sweat the details too much, it's just a sketch. You just need to get the idea in mind. Just get the idea on paper. You can fix and perfect everything afterwards. But for right now, your main focus should just be getting the whatever's in your head onto the canvas. Doesn't matter how good it looks. Just get the idea onto the paper. That is basically it. Just get idea to paper or tablet, whatever it is that you got. You should be good from there. As you can see, in comparison to this image over here, that, solid lines. Yeah, somewhat, for the most part, solid lines, clean design, no scuff, for the most part. In comparison to what on earth is this? That's the point where I'm trying to get at, where don't sweat it too much. Don't worry about it. Not only that, but because we're also looking at this one, which, by the way, again, though it is a funky little doodle, those lines are still pretty clean. In comparison, those lines are still pretty clean. And if you look at those clean lines and compare them to these ones, you can tell these lines are not clean at all. These lines are all sort of scuffed. They're a little faded, and that is completely okay, because that is the point of a sketch. Don't sweat the details. That is the whole point at the end of the day. Just get paper, brain knowledge to paper. Or brain information to paper. That is all. That is it. That is the only thing that needs to be done. Let's get the other part of the imagery right there. Boom. Maybe bring this down a little bit. Move it that way. And there we go. See, again, this sort of thing right here, normally you would probably just erase all of this. But in this case, we don't need to worry about it. We're not at that point yet. And if things are uneven, still don't worry about it. We'll focus on that later. And just you know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to show you what I mean. Where you just clean up. Well, I guess I just forgot. Like, that is a reference image right there that I drew myself. So, yeah, if you wanted to see what I mean, look at our sketch right there. And we did not draw this one. However, I can say proudly that I did draw this one. So, that's exactly what I mean when it comes to the end of the day. This is how it's going to start. This is what it could potentially look like at the end. Well, it's going to be more of a mix of these two. It's going to be the design of this with the style of that. That is our game plan right here. But also at the same time, we still have to consider the shape of the robot, or the mech. So, what we're going to need to do is maybe, just maybe, make this slightly more solid. Like so. Put a more solid shape there, line there, boom, 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 boom. And there we go. There we go. And you know what? Make these arms just a little bit bigger so you could actually see them. There we go. All solid and such. There we go. Like a lampy? Yeah, no problem. Well, hello. Yo, or Alice, welcome on in. Let's give a shout out to Alice. Go check them out. Really awesome people. That was their idea to put the 9K Marvel Rivals thing, as a matter of fact. So, thank Alice, folks, for the potential to get me to play Marvel Rivals and enter a tournament. All right, let me double check on one last part. All right, before the ads start, which is in 30 seconds. Such a relaxing stream to draw to. No, I'm glad to hear that. Also, I didn't know you were drawing. If you feel like talking about whatever it is that you're drawing, feel free to do so. But if you don't feel like talking about it, that is completely understandable. There is no pressure. I always like to let everyone know, if I ever ask any questions, never feel obligated to answer them, because you are not, you're basically not obligated to do anything here, with the exception of respect the rules, respect the streamer, respect each other, and I myself will try to do the same. I will do the best of my ability to do the same. That is basically it. There we go, robot. Okay, so we got ads rolling in, so I will catch up to it once the stream is once the ads are done. I will catch up to everything. So in the meantime, we're just going to continue sketching this out for a minute. Work on that, work on this, work on here, work on there, and there we go. Practically solid. Are those ads started yet? Is anyone stuck in ads right now? Oh, there are the ads. I was wondering for a second there, like, ads sure are taking a while. Maybe the ads aren't going to pop up. Is anyone... and I'm pretty sure by the time I asked, that's when the ads popped up. I don't get ads anywhere? Oh, fair, fair. Then welcome on in there, Silent Ending. Welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. And good to see you. Holy cow, it's been almost 4 years? Ad jail for me? Fair. Holy cow, it's been almost 4 years? Good lord. I'm assuming everybody's back from the ad so I could respond to the messages again. Possibly. Also, glad to hear that you don't have to deal with ads there, Silent Ending. I'm assuming you got Turbo. Which, by the way, nobody has to answer anything. But I've had many names. Red, Primrose. Oh, that explains so much. I was like, barely seen you around. That is crazy. You've been lurking this entire time, and then you say the name Primrose, like, that explains so much. Also, good to see you there, Potatoes. Welcome on in. Let me try to catch up with some of the reading, because I left a couple of those messages unread, because, you know, stuck in ads. What would be the point? Alright, let's see. Yes, was I. Or it was I. Yeah, basically. I'm learning how to draw emotes. Oh, I understand. I hope the learning has been going well. I hope it's been getting easier for you to figure out how to draw emotes, because I'll definitely tell you, I know sometimes it can be a struggle, but it can also be very, very fun. I personally like drawing emotes a lot more than anything else because it's simple, it's small, it's to the point, and most of the time, emotes are usually very funny. And it's a lot more encouraged for the emotes to be funny in some sort of way, shape, or form. And I'm a person of simplicity. I am definitely a person of simplicity. I like things simple. I like things to be not too much work. I say this as I'm working on an animation for a live 2D model again, which, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I thought I was done with the live 2D model. Guess what? Another idea came to mind, and since the idea felt epic, but I didn't have an animation for it, I decided I'm gonna need to do something about that. I need to make that one part, that one feature for that model reveal to be epic. And so, I need an epic animation. I need an epic sequence. I need an epic scene, which means I'm not done with my work yet. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but it is what it is sometimes. But it's gonna be magical. Let me tell you, it's gonna be. I hope y'all folks like it. Which, by the way, again, no obligation. If you see it and you're like, it was okay, it was whatever, that is completely understandable. Just don't tell me to my face. So let me just look at the reception from the audience. No one has to tell me off the bat, like, so what did y'all think? I think that kind of sucked. And I think I'm gonna go home now. But in all honesty, I hope you enjoy it. Anyway. So let me try to catch up on some things. Let me see. Also, thank you for the hydrate there. Yeah, thank you for the hydrate there, Cascade. I'm trying to get pics. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to get pics to do for art stream. Ah, fair. I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of art streams you come up with the images. And if you need it, or if you have any questions, or you need help brainstorming, feel free to ask. And who knows, maybe we can figure out how to save. Oh yeah, you're right. That was a save. Whoops. Yeah, that's on me. Thank you. Well, now you got 2 redeems for the price of 1. Fingers crossed I can be ready for the comms soon. Ooh, nice. I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be awesome. It surprises me when people recognize my old names. See, here's the funny thing. If someone's here long enough, I'm not gonna forget that name for a while. But if someone changes their name, I'm not gonna recognize them. And I think that's almost anybody. You put a whole new name, even as a streamer, you put a whole new name. Like, you rebrand, chances are you're gonna lose people if you don't let them know. Unless you're like a really big enough streamer. For example, the likes of Kiryu Coco, Zelentoski, names like that, if they them rebranding, them leaving their legendary titles, or them leaving their big name titles and going off somewhere else to change into something completely different, people will recognize them. But for folks like you or me, for the most part, we change our names, the majority of people are going to lose us. Like, who's this person? Why am I following them? Do I know them? Probably don't know them. Anyway. And then moving on. And then they'll never know that, oh yeah, it was that person. I was wondering where. You know what? They're probably going to be asking themselves one of those days, like, I remember there was this one person, there was this one streamer. I haven't seen them in ages. I wonder what they're up to. Little did they know that they saw that name a long time ago and just thought, I don't know this person. So, and this is why I always say, for anyone, I always try to say this one ad nauseum. Yes, that is my favorite word now because I tend to do this a lot. So I say the word nauseum ad nauseum now. Like ridiculously. Anyway, so going back to it, I say this one on a daily basis. That whenever if you are a streamer, and you decide that you want to change your brand, you want to change your name, you want to change something about you completely, go to a whole new different title, a new different theme, let the world and their mother know. Because if you don't, people aren't going to remember who you people might not recognize you, and then they'll forget. But if you let the world know, if you let the world and your grandmother know, then they'll be ready for when the change happens. So let them know for a good number of months, like, get ready, folks. We're moving down a different road. We're taking a different trek. We're about to we're about to undergo a metamorphosis. And slowly but surely, gradually move them towards that metamorphosis. And when you change, no one will even notice that you actually did. So you just made that gradual shift. And everybody was there for it, whether they knew it or not. There you go. Boom. Problem solved. Speaking of gradual change. Welcome on in there, folks. We got the mech. We got the robot. Check this out. This animation, this model was drawn and rigged by yours truly. And let me tell you, it was pain. It was a lot of pain. But yeah, check it out, mech. We got gun animations. We got robot thrusters. Let's zoom out on this image a little bit more. I always like to show this one off. And yes, by the way, this was the first model that I used for a boss fight stream. So if you wanted to see what a boss fight model looks like, well, now you got the first. Now you get to see what it can do. Now you see what we're going to be capable of soon enough. Also, we got the solar panel wings and such. And last but not least, double guns, check it out. And last but not least, flash warning. Well, actually, let's remove the wings off the Kribo. And last but not least, flash warning. There you go. I hope you enjoy. And let me tell you, folks, the action animations were the parts that took the most work. Out of everything here is mostly that. Flash warning again. Whoops. Worth the 5 points? Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. And speaking of which, since we're here, as I mentioned before, we're going to be working on another boss fight stream soon enough. That's what but this time, instead of for the Lampy, it's going to be for the bird. So watch out for some animation or some boss fight animations for the bird. It's going to be epic. And I hope you enjoy. All right, let's try to catch up with a lot of the readings because I feel like I missed a lot of stuff. Oops, let's put that back. Let's go back over here. All right, let me see. Hydrate, that says save. That is true. That did say save. It's been great. I've been also learning how to blend and oil paint in MS Paint. Wait, you could blend in MS Paint? I did not know about that part. I thought MS Paint was mostly just the gradient stuff. I've got a coffee almost set, but I don't know if I want to deal with the actual shop portion. Oh, I see. Also, welcome in there, Daka. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. So, here's a... I want to say for the shop portion, if you are just setting up items on the shop, like especially if you're setting up digital items. If you're setting up digital items for your shop, I can definitely tell you this much, that it's gonna be a lot easier than you think. You just set up the digital item, you put it up on the stream, or you put it up on your coffee page, and then you forget about it. People buy, they buy. You don't really have to do much else past that. But if it's like a service thing, like commissions and stuff, then that's gonna be an entirely different story right there. Speaking of an entirely different story, let's give a shout out to Dig. Welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Go check out Dig, folks. If I'm correct, what game were you playing today? I know I saw something about it. Which one was it? I can't quite remember. Oh, it's SpongeBob. Okay, yeah, I wasn't going to get that one. But yeah, everybody stopped by from Dig's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized Moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes I'm live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Today, we're currently working on the animated fire. We finished off the animated fire, so now we're just making Scuff Emote. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy your stay. And if you got to take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. Patapon, probably. What's Patapon? And I hope you had a lot of fun with your stream today. Let me try to catch up with a lot of the readings right quick. Okay. A lance-shaped moth. Possibly. I mostly changed my name due to recent events that left me mess in the head. So I also became hideously homestuck. That's fair, that's fair. I know that feeling of being homestuck. Not the game or web comic or whatever it was, but mostly just there was a time where I just decided I'm gonna stay in the house all day. I mean, I don't need to go outside so long as I could work out or so long as I could work online. I never need to go outside to save my life. I need to go outside to save my life. Anyway, got to keep the blood flowing, got to keep the old ticker running, so I gotta go for a walk from time to time. And that's fair, that's fair. I hope things are getting better on your end, though. I'm still here, I'm just lurking. No worries, and do not worry. I always like to tell everybody, feel free to lurk. There is no obligation. Yeah, feel free to lurk. Because you know what? Lurkers are the backbone of these streams. Lurkers are the backbone of a lot of communities. And most importantly, streams are for entertainment. Streams are for relaxation. And if you're not entertained or relaxed at a stream, or going to a stream makes you feel pressure, then the stream isn't doing its job. Now, that's no shot at anybody. I'm just saying, in general, if anyone feels like, oh, I gotta be at the stream or else I'm gonna be in trouble, something is seriously wrong. Because no one should ever feel like, oh, I gotta be there or else, you know, they're gonna get mad or something, or, you know, I'm not doing my part. It should be mostly, the only time you should feel anxious about a stream is, I'm missing my favorite show. Other than that, that is the only time you should feel anxious at a stream. So, do not worry. You keep doing what you do, and all I could really say is I hope you enjoy. All right, let's see. I got a job type. Oh, got a job type. Got a job type beat you feel. I think. Maybe. Ooh, mech. Yeah, double guns. Love it. Yeah. I'm glad that you like the double guns. It was a really fun project to work on. It was pain, though. A cannon? Yeah, cannons. Bugs love cannons. Give that moth a cannon. Moths love cannons. More moths should love cannons, in all honesty. We don't get enough moths looking at cannons and being like, I want that. It's a moth robo boss fight. Yeah. But this time it's going to be a bird boss fight, so look forward to bird. Oh, I meant webcomic. Oh, that's fair. Oh, you were into Homestuck like that. I thought you meant you got stuck being a homebody. That was me, though. I was just like, I don't need to go outside no more. I lived outside for... Yeah, I dealt with outside life for, like, what? Over 30 years? I think I could finally be inside now. All right, let's see. It's a rhythm strategy game where you command an army of cute little one-eyed dudes using musical drums. It's very fun. I don't know why, but the moment you said one-eyed dudes, I just thought, right, I want to continue making that relinquished deck. Because I got most of the cards, I just need the extra cards that let you get to the ritual stuff. Because not having that ritual stuff makes it very, very difficult. But I would definitely want to get to those other cards. Yo, YV, good to see you. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. I hope things are well. I hope things are good. I hope you're having a lot of fun. All of that crazy stuff. Let's make this arm a little bit bigger. There we go. And with that, that should be good. You know what we actually need to do? Since this is supposed to be a scuffed emote, we need to make this part of the head significantly larger. And maybe a little bit wider. Little bit larger, a little bit wider, something along those lines. This should be good. Fast flutter. We don't exactly have a fast flutter, but we do have wings up. Okay, let's see. Originally came out. Oh, it originally came out on the PSP. It had 3 games and 1 remaster, and one of the 2. Oh, and remaster of 1 and 2 are out on PS5. A Switch version got announced too. Yo, nice. Also, Werewolf Yeet, welcome on in. How you be? And Risen Chaos. Hey, yo, welcome on in there, Risen Chaos. Long time no see. Let's give a shout out to Risen. Go check them out. They play a good variety of games. They do the streamings and stuff. Not gonna lie, I saw Apex Legends and read it as Ape Escape for some reason. Also, welcome on in there, Ryu. Or welcome back, Ryu. That's not true. Lampy will break your kneecaps if you miss a stream. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, for legal reasons, or yeah, as a joke, yes, I will break your kneecaps. Everyone's got to be here bright and early, and they got to pay the moth tax every single day, which is $5. I joke. Nobody pays anything here. Well, people pay money, and then I yell at them for paying money. I yell at them for not saving their money. That's basically how this goes on a daily basis. Save your money, folks. Although, I will say that I don't know what happened, but people have, I think people have been saving their money recently, which I'm very proud of you folks. You take care of them priorities. You focus on that more than anything else. You're doing a great job. All right, let's see. I am a homebody in heart, but not by choice. That's honestly fair. How have you been, dude? I have been extremely tired. But I've been good. I've been working on God knows how many projects. Wait, I catch up with the rest? Okay, I did catch up. But yeah, I've been extremely tired. I've been working on God knows how many projects. Multiple animations. Actually, you know what? Let's bring down the size of this character here. Oh, we can't. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this section, because that head is looking a little too big. What we're going to do is bring this down just a little bit more. Attach it a little bit more to the body right there. And then we're going to make this sucker a lot wider. A bit larger. Put them right there somewhere. Maybe raise the roof a little bit more. So this is basically what it's going to look like. Let's hide the 2 sketches here. But yeah, how about yourself? I hope things have been good. I hope things have been well. Me personally, I realized I was doing a little too much and I needed to slow down on the projects. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of projects I want to do, but I realized I'm only one person and I don't have enough time to do everything. Which reminds me, I might need to go back to at least 3 streams a week, because I was doing about 4 a week. I was doing about 4 a week with a couple of collabs on the side, and I started to realize that since the projects are rolling back in again, I need to slow it down. I need to prepare for future events. I need to prepare for future stream events. I need to work on, focus more on the commissions, and just overall, you know, avoid the burnout, because right now I am currently at a point where it's like I want to do so many of these things and I want to give it all the proper preparation for all of those things, but I don't have the time because I'm also streaming like 4 days a week, and so I need to bump it down to 3 just so I have more time to do other things and to catch up with all of my work, because there's a lot of drawing that I got to do off screen and on screen. So I need to take a couple of days, and honestly, I just need a few days to organize more than anything else. That's the main thing I really need to do, is organize and brainstorm, because I don't think I'm giving myself the time to organize and brainstorm. That's why everything just feels cluttered in my head, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with it all. I just need a moment to just sit back, think for a bit, let my mind clear, and then come back and say, okay, so here's what we're doing. All right, so now that we got that sketch, let's see how it all looks. Right, let's go back to here. Let's hide these from every other scene, and let's let the fire roll. This is how it's gonna look at the end of the day. This is gonna be what their fire emote looks like. What I could also possibly do is just take all of the fire layers and just raise them up a little bit more. Or make the figure just a little bit smaller, maybe? Oh, you know what? Maybe not even make it smaller. Here's what we could do. Just bring it down a little bit. Now we have a problem on frame 4. Okay, I know what I could do. Put this back over here. Go back to frame 1. Hide everything. Then drag it down. And now we're good. I'm thinking this is what we can go with for the animation. This is what we're going to have for the PNG. I'm probably going to show 2 different forms of it so you can see the fire itself and the frame, or, you know, the image. Just so people can see the animation part. All right, let's catch up with some things. Recently realized I can't draw, so I've decided that I'll push my efforts into writing because I'm significantly better at it. My writing has been described as anxiety-inducing. You should write for horror movies then. You should write for horror books. If your writing has been described as anxiety-inducing, pitch it to horror movies, horror studios. And that's not an insult or anything. Like, I'm just telling you, roll with what you got. I do write horror, then there you go. That's the direction you need to go. Focus on the strengths, and in all honesty, even if you can't draw, doesn't mean you can't, or even if you believe that your art ain't good, doesn't mean that you can't just draw for the fun of it. If you feel like drawing for the fun of it, that's still a pretty solid option too. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right, let's reduce the opacity here. And we're gonna hide the fire again. Okay, let's see. What did Ryu say? I pay in Fortnite skins. Need that scorpion skin? Nah. Save your money, Ryu. Save your money. Besides, we're focusing on trying to update the Lampy plushies. Or trying to restock on the Lampy plushies. Do not worry. Do not pay for the Fortnite stuff. Save your money. Or save the money for yourself. If you're going to buy Fortnite for yourself, or Fortnite skins for yourself, you should totally buy Fortnite skins for yourself. But do not worry. Save your money. Alright, so now that we got this, let's go to the new layer. This is where we're going to start working on the line art. And this is where we clean it up a bit. Also, another thing to note. When you're working on emotes, one major thing you're going to want to remember is to make very, very thick lines. I'm going to show you what I mean. You're going to want to make thick lines because what you want to notice, actually, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you a very thick line right here. That one's about an 80 radius on the brush. And now I'm going to show you a very nice, fine, thin line. Look at those fine, thin lines right over there. You see that little zigzag in comparison to this giant triangle right here? You see those? Now you're probably thinking, I don't know, those thin lines, they look clean, they look smooth, they look nice. Yes. But you're working on an emote. Now, why does that matter? I'm going to show you something. Look at the emotes in the chat, folks. I want you to look at the emotes in the chat. Look at them. They look nice. They look fine, am I right? But also, what you got to remember is there are also tiny little images. Why does that matter? I'm going to show you a little emote test that you can do about your images. You see the size of that image right now? Which of the two lines do you actually see? And so you don't get that image lost, let's also get rid of that so you can actually look for it. Where is the fine lines? Where is those very thin lines that we made? You might be able to notice where they are, but can you see them very well? Or do you have to squint and really look close up just to notice them? If you have to squint just to notice them, then you know you need to make those lines thicker. In comparison to the triangle, chances are probably see that triangle. And that's something that for anyone who's making emotes, that is one thing you want to remember, is that you have to remember that the image is going to be small. Since the image is going to be small, your details need to be rather large, or they need to at least be simple enough to where they don't get lost in the clutter. You don't want that. And so, always remember, when you're working on emotes, simplify the design a bit and use larger lines. And now that we got all of that out of the way, now that we got all of that done, we're going to work on that right now. We're going to make this emote, or yeah, we're going to clean this up. We're also going to use much larger lines so you could actually see it later down the road. So let's start up here. Make that thick line for the triangle. And you mostly want to put the thick lines for the outside. You basically want to give it an outline. Give it a strong outline. For the inside of the image, you might want to make them just a bit smaller, but not too small. I'll show you exactly what I mean soon enough. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's clean that up. That should be good. Also start at this point. Drag it across. Drag that part. There we go. Move that point. Bring this down. Maybe clean up, or, smoothen those lines a little bit more. There we go, solid. Drag this across. And we are good right there. And boom, we're all set. Actually, I just realized one little problem that we need to do. Need to drag this further across over here, because we still need these parts to line up a little bit. Also, we need to make these lines just a little bit thinner, because this is on the inside of the shape. Make sure it's the outer lines, the literal outlines, that are much larger. Those are the ones that you want to stand out more than anything else. All right, let me see. I'm currently working on my first collection of stories. Nice, nice, nice. I'm wishing you the best of luck on your stories there, friend. I hope it goes well. We're going to drag that across right over there. That should be good. We should be good with all of that. Next set. Like I said, make the inside lines just a little bit smaller, but you still want them to be large enough to be noticeable. And there we go. And I feel like this spot we could kind of clean things up just a little bit more. There we go. Yo, Duskpaw, how you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. All right, I'm gonna head to sleep. All right, I'm wishing you the best of luck there, friend. You go get that sleep, and I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, friend. And folks, go check out Duskpaw. They play a good variety of games. It's a really funny time over there. If you haven't checked them out, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I hope you've been doing well there, Dusk. But things have been well. I hope things have been good. All of that other funny stuff. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see what we got. And yeah, see, this is what I mean. From far away, you can kind of see that arm. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. And we're also trying to make some... Again, we're also still trying to make a very scuffed emote, so let's try to make a bit of a turkey right here. Let's try to figure out how to draw a turkey. Robot turkey. We need to draw robot fingers. Square fingers, if you will. And 2. And 3. And 4. And then robot thumb. And there we go. We're all solid. We should be good with all of that. And in case you're wondering, where is the, for example, if you're wondering, like, okay, so if it's supposed to be a robot, why not draw, like, robot, fingers, like so? Well, again, that would be a detail that is probably going to get lost when it shrinks down. So we just need to make a hand. We just need to make a hand. We just need to make an arm. Also, that's why you might want to exaggerate certain points. And I'm going to show you some points that we can exaggerate right here to make it look a little bit better. There we go. That should be good. Let's clean up that edge a little bit, though. Actually, you see those lines? We're not going to worry about those lines too much. We're going to come back to that later. Here's what we're going to do first. Let's just make these lines above all else. And then work on everything, or then we'll work on the eyes once we're finished with everything else. Yeah, we'll work on the eyes after we're done with the eyes. No, wait. We'll work on the eyes after we're done with the lines. That's what I'm trying to say. I know what words are. Don't worry about it. I think I know what words are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what words are. Maybe. But yeah, let me see. Hi, Lampy. I was gonna play Rivals, but I had to end early. I got a tummy ache. Ah, sorry to hear that there, friend. Ah, that always sucks. But I'm gonna decompress by hanging out here. Ah, fair. Yeah, I'm honored to hear that. I hope you get better soon, and I hope you recover. But I hope you also had fun with the Marvel Rivals. Hydrate? Hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate there, Ryu. Added a possible suggestion for stream. Ooh, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm gonna have to check it out after the stream. Because I need to also... That's the other thing I'm trying to work on as well recently is avoiding overstimulation. Because I'll be honest, I need to take a step away from the internet more. Or, yeah, I need to take a step away from the internet. Sometimes I recently caught myself just scrolling through all the socials trying to see, like, okay, anything change here? Anything change here? Is anything going on here? Anything going on here? And I'm like, I need to focus on work. Let me go deal with that right quick. So I'm trying to limit how long I'm actually on there, look at a couple things, walk away, get back to work, eat, listen to music in the background. It includes the chat. All right. You know what? Let me go check it out then. Let me see. What on earth sort of idea did you come up with there? Lampy sketches what he thinks viewers would look like based off their names, i.e., floating orange, sneezing orange. Oh, I see. Okay. You know, funny enough, I think I've done that once before, a while back. Although, we do have more folks since then, so that could be an interesting idea. I will say, though, it is going to be rather difficult to pull off, but I can at least give it a shot. That is still a suggestion nonetheless. So I will put that one in the... Yeah, I will take that one into major consideration. Which means I'm going to have to consider, how do I go about that without overdoing it? Because, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to tell you something about something a way whiles back. Some of you may be... Yeah, some of you there may have been there for it. Some of you that are new may not have even known that this happened a long time ago, but when I got my first 100 follows, that's right, folks, this was a way whiles back. Back in 2021, when I got my first 100 follows. No, wait, this was 2022, I believe. I decided I wanted to give back by drawing each and every one of the followers that were there. So you know what that meant? I had to draw 120 little images. And let me tell you, that took the span of 3 whole months. I think it was 3 whole months. Of multiple streams, just drawing as many of them as I could. I first started off with at least finishing off 30. Then it was 5 at a time, 4 at a time, 3 at a time. And then eventually we made it. But yeah, good lord, that took forever. But I wanted to show my gratitude because, yeah. 100 followers. I'm going to tell you something there, folks. And it's probably something you've probably heard multiple times. If you ever think the numbers that you're having right now aren't that big, remember, most of those are people. So, that's like 100 people right there. Imagine 100 people in a room just staring at you. That'd honestly be terrifying. But, you know, that's why I was looking at, like, I want to show my gratitude. There's 100 people here. Why are you here? I greatly appreciate it, but why are you here? And I still feel that way every single time. Like, really thinking about it, which also reminds me, we're almost at that 3,000 mark. Jesus Christ, why are there 3,000 people here? Well, not right now, but you know what I mean. Regardless. It's just a lot. Spin the wheel to pick the chatters. Oh, you make a good point. Spin the wheel. That'd be a pretty good idea. Oh, you know what I could do? You know what? Okay, we could spin the wheel, or we could play a game of marbles. The person who wins, that's who we try to figure out how to draw next. I'm already liking this idea. I already have some plans for this. Let me write this down. Actually, you know what? Let me go write that down over there. Let me put it in the Discord. There we go. So I can remember for later. Hi, Lampy. How you doing? Hope you've been doing well. Yo, Umbro, welcome on in. I've been doing all right. I've just, overworked myself a bit. And, I'm still not done with my work because I realized there's another project I want to add to the live TD model, which I need to stop. I honestly need to stop. I've been telling myself this ever since that I need to eventually just... This is one of those things that some folks, when you get some folks that do creative projects, this is one of those things that some folks that do creative projects struggle with, which is putting the pen down. And what do I mean by that? Let's say you're working on a project. It's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Let me add this, let me add that, let me add here, let me add there, let me add all these things. And then, you know, you never get done. It's never going to be finished because you can never stop and say, I'm satisfied with what I have. No, there's always, this looks great. What if I do this? Oh, but if I do this, that means I could do that. Or if I do that, that means I have to do this. That means I got to do here and there. And it's like, stop. Put the pen down. And that's what I need to do now. I need to be like, I need to put the pen down. Right after this last animation. I still got one more. Okay, I promise. I promise. Scout's honor. One last animation needs to be done. One last part. I just need... What's the word for it? I just need the climactic finale to the boss fight. And I have an idea. Totally wasn't inspired by Elden Ring's certain boss that comes crashing down, but I thought of an idea where the boss fight comes crashing down on you. And so, yeah, I gotta animate that now. So, I gotta prepare for that one, so look forward to that. Oh, Lord Marbles. Lampy. What? Umbra. That's the artist's curse. Perfectionism. Yes. With a slight hand of... That's the struggle. Perfectionism? Fighting over... Or fighting against laziness. It's never a happy balance. It's never a happy medium. It's either, I gotta do all of this, or, I don't feel like it. And then you gotta push yourself to work on those projects, or you gotta push yourself to stop. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be simple. That is for certain. You know what? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. There we go, much better. All right, let me see. Also, Zerates, welcome on in there, buddy. Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. I am Mecha Lampy. Yo, Zerates. How long have I been a mech? It's been about 39 minutes. You know what? 5 more minutes, and then I switch back to the original model. Karibo joke time. What did Karibo order at a restaurant? Meatballs. Hydrate? Thank you for the hydrate there, the destroyer. And, did I see something? Oh, save. That's fair. Curry. You know what? Fair. Since you're new here, I'll accept the pun this one time. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Since you're new here and you didn't start off with a pun, I'll accept this pun this one time. Because for those of you that don't know, if anybody rolls in here that's like, hey, I got a joke for you, I'm like, I don't care. As rude as that sounds, the reason why I look at it... Okay, I'll be honest with you. As rude as that sounds, the main reason why is, like, if someone rolls in with a pun and that's the first thing they roll on in with, I already know full well, 1, I'm not a fan of puns, and 2, you're only going to show up here to put the pun and then walk away. I'm not wasting my time on that. Especially since I'm not a fan of puns. Why would I waste my time on a pun that I know is only just going to be a pun? And then, you know, that's about it. You're done. You're gone. You're going to go off somewhere else and go drop a pun. That's what it's like. Hey, I got a joke for you. Hey, I'm not listening. Anyway, that's just me personally, though. I apologize there, folks. But yeah, that's just me. That's just me. That's my personal gripe. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't care. If you are a fan of puns, though, do not worry. I am not going to judge you for it. Okay, I'm just going to judge you a little bit. But that shouldn't stop you from enjoying puns. You enjoy all the puns you want. Though I'm not a fan of puns, that shouldn't mean that you shouldn't be. If you're a fan of puns, you keep being a fan of puns. If you're not a fan of puns, I relate to that wholeheartedly. Okay, let's see. But you love puns. I do not love puns. Shut up, Ryu. You don't like having pun? Oh my god, I think I just realized what you're trying to say there. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Destroyer. Words. I agree, I don't like those people either. Yeah, see, that's fair. And honestly, if they want to drop a pun and then walk on out, that's their prerogative. They have the right to drop a pun and walk away. I also have the right to ignore it. So I think that's the best way to go about it. If you see someone here who's like, I'm here to stop by to give you a dad joke. Hey, I'm going to do just like your dad and not be there for it. I apologize. That was a lot worse than I expected it to be, but yeah, I wouldn't take it back. You know what? I'm going to use that for the next time, honestly. If someone shows on up here like, I am here to give you dad jokes, that's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to try to... I'm writing that one down. I am writing that one down. Where's my ideas? I'm writing that down for the next time that ever pops up. I'm going to be like, boom. Night Lampy, night chat. All right there, Alice. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, let me see. I think I might head to bed early tonight. Big organizing day happened. Oh, big organizing day happened today. I'm super sleepy. No worries there, friend. You go get that rest. You go get that sleep. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, friend. Where's my pen? Is that what fell a while back? Maybe that's what fell. You know what? I'll find that pen later. Let's just use this one. All right. I'm going to write this down. I want to remember it for the future. There we go. I'm going to tell you a dad joke. And just like your dad, I'm not going to be there for it. I love this joke. This is so messed up. I'm so using this in the future. I apologize to anyone who gets hit by this, but yeah. Also reminds me, I need to get food later. All right, let me see. I try to catch up some things. Totally valid. That's fair. Lampy judges all whether it's puns or not. That's not entirely true. Lampy pun police. I only judge if there's puns. Outside of that, y'all do whatever you do so long as you ain't hurting nobody. All right. Sorry, I had the opportunity. Oh, I had to. Opportunity was right there. You know what? I can at least respect that much. I will at least tell you, I will at least respect you on that one, because I would honestly take an opportunity to troll a little bit too if I had the chance. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like, if the opportunity arises, I'd be like, well, it'd be a crime to pass this up. It'd be a crime to not do this right now. Okay, so far pretty solid. Let me try to catch up with the rest of the reading while I'm trying to figure all this out. Okay, let me see. You have guns for a reason. That is also very true. There are guns for a reason. We use these guns to crack open coconuts, because how else are you going to crack open a coconut? Flamed? I know, right? Wow. What? Thank you for the giant emote, by the way. What? I feel like it's a very valid joke to toss at somebody. Have a good rest of the stream, Lampy. Thank you there, Alice, and you go get the rest of that night. You go get the rest of that sleep. It sounds like you did a lot today. You should be proud of yourself. And I should be proud of myself for that joke. I shouldn't be proud of myself for that joke, but I can't wait for the next time that arrives. Okay, Lampy was in fact not sorry. Yeah, narrator voice. Lampy is not sorry to say that. Yeah. I'm sorry, but Lampy Bong looks like boob eyes. I'm sorry. Well, great. Now I need to throw away the bonk emote. Everybody thanks Suicidol. We're throwing out the bonk. Well, it's a good thing I never used the bonk emote, so I never... Maybe that's why I've never heard about this until right now. Because I've never used the bonk emote myself. And it's not to say that I've never... Yeah, it's not to say that I don't like the emote. It's just I've never had a reason to bonk somebody. But I know many other people like bonking, so I was like, you know what? People like a bonk emote? Let's add a bonk emote. Well, if they have a problem with it, tell them to get some milk and cookies. Oh, yeah, you know what? That's true, that's true. Wait, no, don't take out the lampy bunk? Okay, we'll leave the lampy bunk. I mean, to be fair, people like the lampy bunk. Or there are some folks that use the lampy bunk, so I wouldn't get rid of it either way. Unless Twitch says something about it. If Twitch starts saying, that's looking rather odd, then I'm like, well, I guess I gotta get rid of this. Or we could try to skirt the rules like everyone else does and then get banned and then say, hey, what did I get banned for? Okay, that's not entirely true. There's some times where that's the occasion. Other times it's like, they literally just ban you for no reason because the robot said, I think it's time for a banning. Or a bunch of people reported you because they don't like you. Or one of the staff don't like you and they're like, you know what? I don't like this person in particular. Robot, get him. So there's a lot of factors as to why people get banned. Sometimes it's justifyingly so. Sometimes it's a stupid robot. Sometimes somebody doesn't like you. And that's messed up. That's the worst case scenario. For my case, it was dumb robots. Wait, is the milk and cookies for the bonk emote or for the thing about the dad jokes? Or that dark dad joke that I threw out there? Because honestly, yeah, just put some milk, put some cookies, wait for Santa to show up and ask them for your dad to come back. Somebody stop me. Okay, let's get back to the emote at hand. You know what's funny? You know what's the funniest part? There's a streamer that I know where where basically our dynamic is I'm their deadbeat dad, and I try to escape every chance I get. So honestly, these jokes, if I told them to that person, oh, they'd be so mad at me right now. By the way, folks, you should go check out the Lunar Bunny. That's the person that I bully with that joke. Although also, they also made me a mod in their channel so I could be locked in the basement and then I can never leave, but I find my way to get milk and cookies. Or milk and cigarettes. It's not always a solid plan, but, or yeah, I don't always escape, but for the most part, it's a solid enough plan. Okay, let me get back to this here drawn right here. Let's clean up those lines a little bit more. Yeah, we might actually be able to finish off this part soon enough. Oh, right, also Destroyer. Let me know what you think of the design so far. Let me know if you want anything changed, anything, yeah. If anything looks all right on your end, if you want anything changed, if you think something looks a little off, you let me know. Also, ads start in a minute. We also like this, and you can't get rid of it. Of course I can't get rid of it. I mean, honestly, that would be messed up if I did. Like, as much as I dislike that emote, y'all beat me fair and square on that, and imagine if I got rid of the $1,000 emote. That would be messed up. If I got rid of the $1,000 emote, I wouldn't blame anyone for just leaving and being absolutely upset and, you know, letting the rest of the world know, because that would just be me backing out on a deal. Hold Santa at gunpoint, ask for toys. Funny that you mentioned that there, Karibo Lord. You say that, but Lampy already heisted the North Pole. Yeah, see, exactly what Ryu said. Hold on a minute. We gotta go get that, image right quick. Because somebody said... Yeah, someone basically said, hey, just hold Santa at gunpoint. Way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead of you. Which, by the way, you're also probably trapped in ads right now, so you probably cannot see this, but in case you can see this, way ahead of you there, Karibo. Way ahead of you. This was a fun project a long time ago. This was honestly also during the time that when I was going for speed over quality, so you could tell that it was speed over quality on this project. And because of that, now I want to show you what quality over speed looks like. Because that's what happens when we focus on getting it done fast and not getting it done right. This is what happened. This other image is what it's going to look like when we get it done right instead of getting it done fast. You could see the stark difference between the two, in all honesty. This one, we got it done in like a day or two. And I'm mostly focused on just getting the idea in mind, but as you can see, the proportions are a little off, the shading ain't all that great. It's okay for what it is, but it's simple. And honestly, for a Christmas meme, I think it's pretty solid for what it is. However, comparing that to this, you can see the stark difference. You could see the difference in quality, the proportions, the shading, the lighting, the rendering, all of that. But yeah. Also, for some reason, people are always screaming whenever they see this bottom corner of Lampy dropping a grenade on Mothman for some reason. I don't understand why. We're just trying to hunt moths with the most messed up weapons imaginable. No, we're not trying to hunt moths, we're trying to hunt cryptids with the most messed up weapons imaginable. Like whatever that instrument is with the bard. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing. Honestly, you know what? I'm thinking this part. Let's change up the horns a little bit on this end. Whatever these are. Let's change this up a little bit more, because honestly, I feel like these ones are a little too wide. I'm gonna break that down a little bit. Leave it right there where it is. And here's how we're going to fix that up, though. Bring this up here. Put that to that point. Then bring this down. Add that shape. Then boom. Solid horn shape. Now it's a lot less wide in comparison to what it was before. Here's what it looked like. Very, very wide on the side. Made it look like it was part of the shoulder. Bring it back a little bit more. Now it actually looks like it's part of the head. Boom. Easy. Lurk. All right, you do your lurking there, Mattias. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this, or whatever it is that you got to do. I hope it goes well, and I hope you enjoy the stream in the meantime. There we go. This should be good here. That should be good there. And even though this is going to be a tiny image, we should still clean up those lines. Like so. There we go. We're all good right there. Oh, you know what? We made that too low. Let's bring this back up here. Put that right there. This should be solid. Thank you for the stretch and the posture check there, Ryu. And we need to go back to the regular bug model. Yeah, because this one's been here long enough. There we go. Pensman. Let's drag this part down. Right, we also need to put the opacity back to 100. Let's also save, because I forgot the last time I saved. Oh, you know what I also need to do? I said this before a while back, but I still need to get Titanfall. I need to order Titanfall, because for those of you that don't know, the last time I tried to play Titanfall, EA was being, what's a term that I could use? What's a term that I could use for EA? You know what I could call them? They were an old jar. Yeah, they were an old packet of coleslaw or something like that. There we go. They were an old bowl of coleslaw, all covered in mold. That's what they were being, because they wouldn't let me play the game until I logged in to an EA account using an EA application program. I'm like, I just want to play one stinking game. You're telling me I got to go through all these steps just so you have my information? Nah. I put up with it with Dead Space 3. Then as soon as I was done playing Dead Space 3, I got rid of all of that stuff. Because I was getting tired of that app popping up every single time saying, hey, log into EA. And it's like, no, go away. Leave me alone. And so I just got rid of the program. So instead, I'm just gonna buy it secondhand. Just gonna buy it secondhand for the PS4, or was it the 360? It was one of those two. I have it on Amazon right now. I just need to buy it off of Amazon, wait for it to show up, and then, yeah, that's about it. There's also those Blue Eyes decks that I want, but I gotta focus on Rent first. Focus on Rent. Make sure that I have Rent ready for the month, and then whatever else comes in goes to the Lampy plushie refunding. And then after that is done, that's when I buy Titanfall and some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. See, even though I like nerdy stuff, I have my priorities straight. We work on Rent first. Then we work on everything else. We work on Rent first. Then we work on restocking on those plushies. Then we work on everything else. Wait, you're buying a second hand? Yeah. I need all the hands I can get. Yeah, I miss the old days when they didn't suck and required 3 accounts for one game. I know, right? Ah, I miss those. Yeah, I too miss those days. We are unfortunately no. Yeah, we're no longer in that timeline, unfortunately. Now we're in the timeline where I expect you to have all sorts of things just for one game. I don't like that. Lurk ate a ton of food now. I'm spiraling into a food coma. That is completely fair. You do your lurking. And I hope you rest well. And in the meantime, while that food is digesting, I hope you enjoy. You take care now, there, friend. Oh, also, right. As I was saying, Destroyer, since you're there, what do you think of the line art so far? This is the idea that we got in mind. Let me know if there's anything you want changed. If everything is good, then we're just gonna continue along the way. If there's anything that you want fixed up when it comes to the line art, let me know and we will fix that up. Also, folks, for those of you that are there, Destroyer is the one that commissioned me for this animation. So if you want to see this project in the future, if you want to see this emote in its full glory in the future after we're done with this project, or if you want to use this emote in the future, go support Destroyer. They will have it on their channel once all of this is done. Maybe. So long as things go according to plan, everything should be good and they should have their animation in no time. All right, let's see. The reason why I stopped my last run of Mass Effect logging into multiple accounts to play a game is just dumb. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree on that. Should only need one account, and maybe not even an account sometimes, depending on the game. This is why I miss consoles. I didn't have this problem when I played consoles back in the day. I don't know if you have this problem with consoles now, but if even consoles had this problem, then you know this is a huge issue. And I would just stop with video games altogether. Luckily, there are some indie games that don't care. You have the game on, that's all you need. I mean, it looks about the same as the bunk, so it seems good. Non-shaded stuff always throws me off, though. Worst case, just lower the chest a bit, so the abdomen area is out of frame. But we will see what it looks like. That's fair, that's fair. Then I suppose... Okay, I feel like in this situation, the best option is for me to... Especially since it's also getting late, I think the best option for me is to stop once the base color is finished. Unless we could get to the base color before you pass out. If we could get to the base color before that point, then I think we might be able to finish this off in one day. If we can't, or if we don't get to that point before you gotta take off, which, by the way, no pressure, you take off when you need to. No, I'm just saying, is that if that is the case, then we just stop at the base, or at the base colors. I send you the work to look over, and then after that, you know, I just continue from there. There we go. Robot stuff. Let's get the music back because that stopped. And I know that song is going to get, as though the worst part about that track, I really like that track, but later down the road, that track is going to get worse. Like, it's going to sound cool, or it sounds cool, and then over time, I don't know how to put it. So I kind of skip that track halfway through before it gets to the annoying part where it just sounds like sounds. Instead of music, it just becomes a mess of sounds. Luckily, that's only like 1 or 2 tracks that actually do that. Let me look at this image again right quick. Yeah, no, that seems about right. It's just that it's a lot wider. That's the only difference there. Let's add that line right there. Connect that line over here. Then we're all good. We're all set on that part. Oh, okay, let's see. Also hate Ubisoft's clinginess of we demand you to constantly play our games. If not, we will delete your account. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. What? That... No, that's how you make players not want to begin playing your games at all. What do you mean they threaten your account if you don't play it enough? See, this is why Ubisoft's going down the gutter. You don't do that to a player base. You're either going to end up with 2 situations, and chances are it's going to be the latter, which is either A, oh, I got to keep on playing or else I'm going to lose my account, or wait, you mean you're telling me you're going to just do that? You're just going to take away my... Why do I even play your games in the first place? You know what? I think I'm done with Ubisoft. You don't want your player base to look at your company or your studio and think, you know what? I think I'm done. What's the point anyway? Yeah, see, that's the thing. You don't want your player base to look at your studio, look at your work, look at what you're trying to sell them and think, what's the point? If they look at your work and think, what's the point? Then you know there's something seriously, seriously wrong. You don't want that to ever be the case. Tell you what, go ahead and lower the whole image, but cut it off at the wider look and gives flames more room to shine. All right, sounds good there, Destroyer. Sounds good, will do. Also, Mr. Welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give you a shout out. What were you doing there, Mr. Bean? What were you working on? I hope it went well. And everybody stopping by from Mr. Bean's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator for full-size Moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Let me show you what we got going on so far. Well, first, for one, let's go back to the robot here. Let's bring this down a bit. Well, let's bring this and the sketch down a bit. Let's bring it down to here. I want to say this is a pretty solid spot where it stays wide as requested. Then we bring this robot, we hide the robot, and this is what we got going on so far. This is the current animated emote at the moment. I hope you enjoy. We could also increase the size of the fire too, if that is to be desired. I feel like maybe we could bring this up a little bit. Let me try something right here. I'm gonna do... Take the fire. Zoom up. What do you think? Leave the fire right there or bring it back down? You let me know. Let me show you the results so far. Actually, yeah, let me show you the results so far. Here's what it looked like originally. Here's what it looks like now. In the meantime, let me catch up with the reading. I can see the fire is done if you are doing this. Oh yeah, we're finished with the fire so far. I want to say we're finished with the fire so far. And welcome on in there, Pixel Light. Hope you're having a good day there too. Got a raid and run though. Good night. No worries there, Mr. Bean. You go get that rest, and I thank you again for the raid. I hope you have a good night, better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, buddy. Yeah. Not gonna lie, I think the wider flames actually work a little bit, or the higher flames actually work a little bit. Gives it more to shine with. So I might leave it right here. Well, leave the flames right there. I think this might work a little bit better. Plus, we could still see the sparks like before. Yeah, I think this works. I think we can work with this. Also, yo, Brina. Let's give a shout out to Brina. They also play they also play a good variety of games. And we're also going to be working on some emotes of there. Actually, we're already working on some emotes for there. So, yeah, we got a lot of emotes going on in the background. Okay, we're going to leave it like that for now. We're going to hide the fire for a minute. And we're going to continue with the rest of the line art. See what we could do here. Let's take this section, drag that down, move this over here, move that up. Not quite. That's a little too wonky. Let's drag this whole thing across like so. There we go. That's a solid arm. Put that there, put that there. Take this line, make it a little bit smaller, so when we drag it across like there, you know what? Maybe a little bit higher. There we go. Much more solid of an arm. Boom. We could do a little better than that, though, actually. Let's try this again. That should be better. We drag this part over here, have it stop, pull this part down. Now we got the line for that other part of the arm. Put that part there, put that part there. Make this part of the line a little more solid. Boom. And we are good. Evening, Lampy. Welcome on in. Hope things are going well. Now we just got to make that square hand. Right, we also got to bring the shape of this brush down a little bit more. There we go. Just so we could get that triangle a little better. Actually, let's not start with the thumb first. Let's actually start with the back of the hand. Back finger like so. Or a pinky finger. That's a better word for it. That's a better terminology. There we go. Yeah, I remember seeing those emails of them threatening my account, but only games I played on there were Dead Space and Uno. Oh, yeah, see, there you go. It's like, see, when they do that and you're barely even playing the game, you might as well just say, you know what? Keep it. I don't even want your games anymore anyway. That's how I'd look at it. Like, you know what? If you're going to be threatening my account, get rid of it already. I don't care. Go ahead. Get rid of it. Like, keep the account. I don't care. Your games suck anyway. And it's EA, so yeah, that's honestly very true. I just said it before. Speaking of Dead Space, I'm never gonna get over how they changed the story there. I've already talked about. Well, I'm not gonna go into too many details about that Dead Space story, because for those of you that watched me play the remake, you heard me go full-on rant on the story of that game. So I'm not gonna go into details about it. I'm just gonna say, EA, why'd you have to ruin a good story like that? Why you gotta do my boy Hammond dirty like that? Come on. That's all I'm gonna say. Why'd they do my boy Hammond dirty like that? Kendro is okay, but Hammond? Because it's EA? That's honestly fair. That is because it's EA. EA can't leave well enough alone. Okay, we got the line art done. Let's get rid of the sketch. And before we forget anything else, let's go back to this image. Because here's what we're going to do next. At least Isaac is getting the gritty now. Oh, is hitting the gritty now. You know what? That's honestly fair. At least Isaac is hitting the gritty. Or, yeah, they're hitting the gritty. Well, for you, they're hitting the gritty. For me, they're going to be doing the crypt walk. For those of you that don't know, Isaac Clarke is on the Fortnite game. And, someday I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be playing that Fortnite again. And when I do, I'm going to be playing as Isaac Clarke. And I'm going to make him do the crypt walk. Why? Because, okay, you know what? This actually makes sense why Isaac would not be a fan of red. As one, considering Dead Space, you see blood everywhere. And two, the marker's red. So, he would be representing blue. It honestly fits. And since the necromorphs, you know, they would normally be bloody, they would be covered in red. So of course he would be shooting some red. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I can't wait to see it. Me too. Me too. I gotta find a time to play Dead Space again. That's the only difficult part, is finding time for Dead Space. I mean, not Dead Space, I was gonna say Elden Ring. I meant Fortnite. I need to find time for Fortnite one of these days. Let's put this back to 100%. Let's nab a solid shade right here, and I think the solid shade would be this one. So, yoink. Let's hide this for now. Let's make a new layer. Actually, no, we don't make a new layer just yet. We're actually going to select the outside of all of this. So select side there, and side there, and then new layer. Select, modify, expand by 5. Yeah, that should be okay. Now we make the new layer. Select the inverse. Fill in the color. And because this is a very dark base color, we're going to get this bright pink. We're going to hide this image again. We're going to go to the line art. We're going to put a transparency lock. And the reason why we put the transparency lock, which you could find right over here, this little box that looks like a checker mark. Click on that. And then it'll also show that there's a little lock on that layer. And the reason why we do this, I'm going to show you right now. We're going to show, yeah, I'm going to paint without the transparency lock on. See, no transparency lock. There's no lock there. That thing isn't clicked. That layer is basically blank. So if I get this, and I put it, or yeah, so if I get a bright pink, put it at 0% sharpness, which means we're going to get a nice blur like so. We just drag this whole thing across. As you can see, it just fills up the whole thing, and it blinds your eyes, and it makes your eyes hurt. We're going to get rid of that. But I want that color for the outline. I just don't want it to be, how do I put it? I also don't want it to be just a single color. So how do I add a multiple shade? How do I add black and pink onto the outline without losing the line itself? I'm going to show you right now. That's what the transparency lock is for. Click on that again, make sure that lock is there. And now, when we drag this across, you'll see that it stays contained within the lines. I only want the lines on the outside. So, I'm just going to click here and there, mostly on the outer edges, to really brighten those ones up. I mostly want them on the outside of the image because there's a little thing called multiple backgrounds. So now that we got that, let me show you what I mean. If we kept it, I'm actually going to duplicate this layer so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's keep it as just a solid, yeah, let's just keep it as a solid color, and let's zoom out again. I'm going to show you the background test. Now, what on earth is the background test? I'm going to show you right now. If we put it in the background, if we bring it down to an average emote size, and we leave it something like that, you will notice that on a bright background, you can see it no problem. Easy, simple. You can see that clearly. However, if we invert all of that, well, granted, funny enough, you can still see it clearly until we start putting shadows, but let's say we put it somewhere down the middle. Actually, funny enough, you can still kind of see it. So I guess actually this color shading works just fine. However, for those that may not be able to see it too clearly, that's why we add this. Now it stands out much better in comparison to where it was before this, boom, popping out. Although, we still need to do the fire layout. And, yeah, I think that works pretty solidly. Let's reverse the coloring, though. And there we go. Boom. We got everything ready. We got everything set for the base colors. So, yeah, holding up pretty well. We just need to finish off the last sets. We just need to add the shading, check out the eyes, make sure everything's good. Do you need this coconut? Oh, what do you need this coconut for? To block attacks. To block direct attacks. We don't want direct attacks hitting us, you know? Leave it to Lampy to always keep us fed with dead space for the rest of our lives. Yeah, basically. Wait, yeah, weren't you the one that dropped that meme last time? Like, don't worry, don't worry, they're... How did it go? Don't worry, they're a little cultists. We got... How did it go? Can you write that down again? How did the meme go? I can never remember how it went. Also, cat. All right, we got to add a cat. Also, welcome on in there, NazCat. Hope things are going well. Hope things are good. If I'm correct, you were drawing something earlier today. Folks, go check out NazCat. They do the art and such. Really chill times over there. Really cool streams. And we got to add a cat to the screen while we wait for the... Actually, let's put this back to the regular color layer. Like around there. I'll also delete this previous layer. Let's delete that layer copy. Put this back where it is. And let's add a cat to the stream. Cat. Yeah, right here should be good. But we're also going to, I know what we could do. We're going to bring the cat down, which, by the way, folks, if you like this cat, you can find it on the Etsy page at a very affordable price. I think it's only like 10 bucks. And, it comes with a lot of different features. Also, I do not know why, but the mouth rigging is no longer working. And do not worry, that's not part of the model. That is part of my camera overheating. But yeah, we got this here cat. Or it's a... Yo, folks, welcome on in. We're just showcasing the cat model, which my camera is not registering properly. But yeah, we got mad face, sad face. We got motivation eyes. Why? Because we got to get the memes in there as many times as we can. Last but not least, let me show you this one there, folks. And I hope you enjoyed your stream. I hope you had fun. Check it out. Cat does biscuits. Oh yeah, and the creepo spins as well. Anyway, you can find that cat on the Etsy page by putting exclamation point ETSY. But anyway, that's not important right now. What is important is that we got to give a shout out to Humstorm. What were you doing there, Hum? Let's find out. What were you doing? What were you playing? How were things going? I hope you had fun. Oh, you were doing art. How did the art thing go? I hope the art went well. Also, everybody stopping by from Hum Art Stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Hold on, let me zoom in on the image right now, because we're currently working on an emote. And we just finished off the fire. That's right, folks. We were also animating that emote. All that stuff was just drawn and animated by yours truly. That fire took forever. I hope you enjoyed. Also, Humstorm and Turning Tables and Valley in Blue, thank you for the follows. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're in the lamp. Yeah, by the way, you're lampies now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Now, what is this going on here? We are not raiding. We are selling mayo. Why do you have guns then? And you know what? You're not the only ones with guns. But you got the guns for it. Let's all put the guns down, folks. Let's all put the guns down. You don't need this to get a little too crazy. Also, if y'all gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Also, Mr. Meepsy, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. And good to see you there. Hey, Dummy, Mr. Meepsy. Valiant Blue, turning tables to Humstorm. And let's see what were you doing. Oh my god, the crow? Yeah, check it out, crow. Crow also has wings. The crow also talks. If yeah, also is a text-to-speech bot, or text-to-speech bot, but no pressure on that one. The crow actually speaks whenever bits or sub is yeah, whenever bits are given, basically. All right, don't cry, Moth Fleet. Uncle Lampy has enough Dead Space content to keep you fed for your entire life. God, cook those necromorph sandwiches. Boy's hungry. That's the one. Thank you there, Ryu. I greatly appreciate that. I need to save that. I need to save that one. It was a good stream. I was doing repo reactives. Ooh, repo reactives? That's pretty awesome. I've been seeing a lot of people playing repo, so I know that's gonna go crazy. I know that's gonna go ham. Also, Night, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But yeah, you know what? I need to check out your stream later. I gotta see what those repo move or emotes or animations look like. Or reactives, there we go. I gotta see what those repo reactives look like. Because that sounds awesome. Love the crow? Yo, thanks. I'm glad you like it. I drew and rigged it myself. I saw a crow and a moth, and you had a lamp in your name. So you hit all the marks. Fantastic. Also, here you go. Speaking of which, if that is what you're looking for, here we go. Where is it? There's the one. We're just gonna unlock that. Here you go. You can have this one, as a matter of fact. Don't worry about the color. It's always gonna light up. There's no off switch. And I hope you enjoy that one. Love everything about this? Yo, thanks. I'm glad that you like it. Oh, right. Also, speaking of which, I forgot to mention, for those of you that are there, if you see that Karibo right there, guess what? If you put exclamation point KOFI, you are directed to the coffee page, and you will find a bunch of live 2D models and PNGs for, guess what? Absolutely nothing. That's right. You can get all the stuff on the coffee page for practically, not even practically, nothing at all. You get all of it free. If you want if you wanted PNG assets, if you wanted live 2D models, and you didn't want to spend any money, go over there and take everything you want. Basically, free looting. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I wanted to mention. So, yeah, I'm glad that y'all like the place. I gotta go see those reactives later, and I wish I had a better camera. I need to fix that iPhone soon. Free is absolutely incredible work. Thank you. I'm glad that you like that. It was basically a lot of projects over the years. Oh, which also reminds me, we just added a shark model to the coffee page. So yeah, if you ever wanted a shark, boom, there you go. All right, let's go back to this image because I need... Oh, wait, actually... Yeah, just to be safe, let's go for this shade. Because I want that one for the eye and maybe some of the other dots. Oh, I forgot. So, go over here. Let's just drop that right there. Boom. Add that background color. Then we go over here and add that background color. You do awesome. Oh, let's see. You do awesome. I'll be dropping a lurk here for a bit. Glad the lamp called to me. Yeah, I'm glad that you like the work. And you go do what you got to do. As I always like to say, streams are fun, but they also take a lot of energy. So I hope you have whatever it is that you're doing. I hope it goes well. And I hope you have a good day, better tomorrow, a great week. And I hope you enjoy, yeah. And while you're here, I hope you enjoyed the stream. All right, we're going to delete that part. Wait, no, not delete. Let's snag this shade. Switch the two color palettes out. Boom. Clean that part up. We should be good with that. Now, last but not least. Oh, wait, hold on. We also need to add... Well, one, let's put this back to 100% opacity, or 100% sharpness. We're going to add that big circle right there. Little circle right there. Funny fact about this, a funny fact is that this... That's so sweet. Yo, thank you. So, funny thing about this is that, that little dot right there, I've mentioned this before. I'm always going to let a lot of people know this, but when you're working on emotes, that little detail right there is going to be absolutely useless. Want to know why? Look at that little dot. You could see it from here, right? You'd probably be thinking, yeah, that was a necessary item to add. That was a necessary detail. Let's make this the size of an emote. Actually, when you make it the size of the emote, both dots disappear. But you know what? Sometimes attention to detail, you know, sometimes the attention to detail... I'm actually going to give you a little bit of a tidbit on that one there. Sometimes certain attention to detail can be useful if you're going to showcase your work. Like, if it's just going to be an emote and you're never going to promote it, you never have to go through all those details. You could just leave it in the background, never talk about it, just zip your lips. But if you have to showcase these, you know, to show other people that you do this work, and you need to show like a large image of it, you're going to want those little details. But if it's just for yourself, and you don't plan on promoting with those emotes, you could skip that detail. Because I always like to say, when it comes to emotes, the simpler, the better. Because you don't need all that detail. It's going to get lost it's going to get lost in the process. Speaking of which, sometimes you're also going to want to greatly exaggerate certain features. For example, if I want this eye to be noticeable, we need to make it extremely large. We need to make this grossly oversized, so you can see it from afar. Because if we don't do that, well, again, it's going to be lost in the emote process. So the best thing we can really do, grossly oversize that. Save, good idea. Unless someone gigantifies your emote. True. That's also a situation where you're going to want to, you know, keep the details. You make a good point. If you want to keep the details, then you might want to gigantify it. But yeah, see what I mean? You can see the eyes from that far away. Also, thank you for the hydrate, posture check, and the stretch there, Destroyer. I greatly appreciate it. Also, let me know what you think of the emote before you get... Or yeah, if you gotta go, let me know what you think. If not, or yeah, if you don't have any opinion on it yet, I can always show you later. Yeah, I could always show you. Either way, I'm going to show you the emote tomorrow anyway. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you have a good night, prepare tomorrow, and a great week. Thank you for the save and all that good stuff. And Roxas James, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Looks good so far. I'll take a closer look tomorrow. All right, sounds good, sounds good. Then in that case, I'm going to work on the rendering of... Yeah, I'm going to add the shadows, add the shadows, add the overlays, and I'll send you the finished piece to look at, and you let me know what changes are needed. Love the emote? Good, thanks. I'm glad that you like it. If you thought that emote was good, check this one out. This was also an emote that was commissioned to me. Yeah, that was commissioned by a Destroyer, which you can find their emote right now, as a matter of fact. But yeah, this was this was one of the commissions from before. This one was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. Mostly because animation takes a lot of time. And when you add a mech on top of that, that takes even more time. But this one was a lot of fun to work on. The action movement definitely made it... Okay, I'll definitely say, the action movement definitely made it a lot easier to work with. Because when there are certain action movements that allows you to stretch the image out a little bit, it means you could focus less on details. Focus more on... Yeah, focus more on the movement, focus less on the detail. Then you get that. There you go. Moth. I mean, that's close enough to a moth. I want to say that's close enough. Welcome on in there, Yuriko. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. What were you playing last time? I remember seeing you playing a game. I was lurking for the background. I think it was Code Vein? Yeah, folks, go check out Yuriko. They're absolutely insane in the best way possible. Like, it's a fun stream, it's a funny community, and you second guess your sanity while you're there, and it's a lot of fun. Oh, Pokemon. Okay, I wasn't there for the Coliseum games. That's so cool. As an artist, I agree. Yeah. Sometimes you wanna. Sometimes I will definitely say, in certain occasions, details. You know, the details can be lost for a moment. I've been on this retro kick lately. That's honestly fair. That's pretty cool. Wait. Oh, wrong ones. We could close this. We don't want that no more. We come back over here. I might shrink the shape of the eye a little bit. Like, let's backtrack on this shade. Bring this down just a little bit. I still want it to be a little more squarish. But I still want it to be noticeable from afar. So I think this might work. Let's see. Actually, I feel like this one's a little too close to the center. Let's actually take this point, bring it back a little bit. So now that when we zoom out, there we go. In comparison to where it was before, yeah, I think this works a little bit better. And even from far away, you could still see that beady little eye. I think this works just fine. So we got that part done. Now what we need to do, actually, is make the other square. Let's put that there, put that there, put this here, put that there. And I think this should be good. Maybe. Hold on a minute. Let me double check on something. Let me try this again. You know what we could do, actually? Let's leave it like that. Let's add this shape. Oops. Almost missed one more spot. There we go. Let's add that shape. And just get the eraser. Invert this. Not quite. We're almost there, though. Let's drag this up. Wrong shade. Hold on a minute. Let's backtrack on that one more time. There we go. And then get our eraser. Flip the colors one more time. Boom. There we go. Now let's take a look-see. I want to say that works a lot better. So when we zoom out, you'll actually be able to see... Well, you'll be able to see one eye, but if we get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see two, and I think that works just fine. All right, let me see. Also, I don't have a moth emote. I only have a bee. You know what? That's close enough. That is close enough. Yo, Metrax, welcome on in. You know what happens next. Folks, go check out Metrax. They are, yeah, they're working on their rebranding. They're one step closer. They made it past a big hurdle. They deserve all the support. Get supported, nerd. Also, they play a lot of, they play a good variety of games, like the Tomb Raiders, the Elden Ring. Which also reminds me, we need to figure out a schedule for Elden Ring. I don't remember when's a good day, though. Wait. Yeah, we need to figure out what's a good day for Elden Ring again. And I also need to figure out my own personal schedule. I also need to figure out my own schedule as well. I'm still trying to figure that part out. But yeah, this is what we got so far. I think this is most of the shapes. Let me look back on the sketch image again. You know what? I think that should be honestly fine. For now, let's work on the next step, which is make a new layer, put a clipping mask, and we are going to put a... We're going to go with a regular shadow this time around, but we're also going to put it at... We're going to put this layer at 40%. And here's why. We're going to put this layer at 40%. We're going to put our brush at 50% sharpness. And the reason why we put the layer at a 40% opacity is because I'm going to show you right now. This is what it looks like at 100% opacity. Obviously, it's just pitch black, and that's okay. But I want to give it a sense of shadow. So if we put it at 40% opacity, it just makes the shade, it makes whatever color shade we have just a bit darker. That's exactly what we need. And now you're going to see how we could use that to our benefit by having it look like a shadow is being cast. Like so. All right, let me try to catch up some things. Talking about the rebrand, I can send you a spoiler. So between 1 and 5. A spoiler between 1 and 5. I'm going to pick 4 because I like the number 4. Made redeem? All right, fantastic. We're going to add that. Since you redeemed that, here you go. Didn't actually expect anything to pop up, did you? It's April 1st. Well, for some folks, it might be April 2nd. But for me, it's still April 1st, so I could get away with this joke. All right, we're throwing this away. And welcome on in there, Diamond Dew. I hope you're having a good day. Fast flirt. All right, wings up. Thank you for redeeming that. Also, that is a lot. Hold on a minute. Okay. Fast wings. Hydrate. Posture check and stretch. All right, thank you for the whole set. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you greatly. All right, let me see. Also, the usual time is fine for me. All right. Usual time it is. Thursday. Lurk. All right there, Diamond Dew. You do your lurking, and I hope you enjoy. And whatever it is that you got to do, I hope it goes well. In the meantime... Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to add an extra feature. I know what sort of extra feature we could actually add to all of this. I'm going to show you real quick. But first, let's work on the shadows. Add all the shadows. Add all the shades. I'm actually going to put a brush at 0% sharpness for this. Just for the heck of it. And I just realized, actually, I'm doing this the wrong way entirely. What I should be doing is actually, since the flame is behind the image, the shadow should be casted in front. So, basically, let's erase everything right quick. Too far. So here's what we're going to do for this. Normally, you would cast the shadow... Yeah, actually, over normal under every circumstance, you cast the shadow where the main light source would be. And most of the time, the main light source would usually be at the top and in front. So maybe a little bit on the left, maybe a little bit on the right, but usually at the front and above. However, in this case, fire is a light source. So because fire is a light source, that means the light is shining behind it. Because the light is shining behind it, that means the shadow should be casted right in front of it. But here's what we got to do instead, actually. Fill the entire background with shadow. Then we get our eraser. put our eraser at 0% sharpness, and then start erasing around the edges, like so. Make this brush a little bit smaller too. Just erase all around the edges and only around the edges. And there we go. We basically got what is necessary. And for the next step, what we're going to do next is we might bring this down a little bit. Let's put it at 30% sharpness on the eraser. Or not on the eraser, on the shadow. We got 30% on the shadow. The next step we need to do is actually go to where all of the bright lights are. Like, for example, this spot right here, this spot right here, where the eyes are. Select those little circles there, and select that spot and that spot, and then go back to the shadow and just delete. This way it feels like, you know, the lights are actually lit up on the robot, despite all the shadow being casted. Now let's save. There you go. All right, let me see. What have you got going on there, Mitrex? Oh, I was about to say something. I gotta shut up. No, that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing whatever that project is that I cannot talk about. I look forward to seeing how that turns out. It's gonna be awesome. You know what? Let's put this back to 40% opacity. I say 40% opacity on the brush should be good. I also need to get the music back. Yeah, I think this works a lot better. However, though this looks okay, we could take it one step further. But here's what we're gonna do. Well, we're gonna do two more steps. One, let's make one more new layer. And we're going to keep that clipping mask. We're gonna put this as an overlay. We're gonna put it at 50% opacity, I wanna say. Now let's zoom out a bit on this, because we're gonna need that part. So we're gonna put this, we're gonna put shadows, we're gonna click. And then at the top, I'm gonna put a light highlight, like so. And now that we got all of that set, you know, I also think it was... Wait, I was going to spoil something. I was going to say, you know, I think no, I should just stop. There's no way for me to skirt around not spoiling without saying something. Or there's no way for me to skirt around the spoiling and talk about what I thought was funny without spoiling it. So I gotta stop. All right, so here's what we got so far. Now, like I said, this looks okay. I think, as an emote, I think this would work. I think this would be really fine. Let's take this one more step ahead. One more new layer in front of everything else. We're going to call this light. You're probably thinking, why is it called light there, Lampy? What on earth is it going to be? Let's nab at this color. Maybe make it just slightly more orange. Just a little bit more orange. There we go. Now let's do this. Actually, you know what we got to do? We got to make a whole new layer. Let's take this entire thing, group it, hide the original. Wait, where'd the original go? group. Put that there. Hide that one for now. Duplicate it. Put this one right here. And then for the next step, here's what we're going to do. For the next step, we're going to merge this. Wait, actually, since this one's a little messed up, we're actually going to delete this one. Go back to this one here, put that right there. Duplicate it one more time. Hide this one for now, merge this down. Then make the new layer. Name that light. Put that as a clipping mask. And now we just take our brush at 0% sharpness. And do not worry, I will catch up to the reading soon enough there, folks. Just need to do one little thing. Not quite. Let me figure this out. Also, add start in a minute. You realize which is good. You realize which is good. I sent Orphe the other spoiler, and the dumb boy said it out loud on stream. Thankfully, he did not say it was me who sent it to him, but yeah, I wanted to strangle him. The worst part, the message said, don't read it out loud. So I'm not the Tom Holland. It's Requiem. There you go. I'm just glad to hear that I'm not the Tom Holland one. Sorry to hear that, but at least nobody knows what the plan is. At least nobody knows what the plan is, and that's a good sign. Oh, you know what? I know how I could do this. We're going to keep this at 100%. You know what? Let's actually go back to the original game plan. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's put this back here. Let's go over to this side. Let's go back to the light. Just drag this across. Drag that across. Add a little bit of light up here. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And the rest of that song, I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Don't worry about it, though. I can't speak about the rest of the lyrics anyway without copyright, probably. So, this will be okay. Alright, so now that we got all of this set up, let's make it a little bit brighter. Just add that just a little bit more to the other half. And here's how we're going to make this work. Here's how we're going to make this fire really pop out. Or here's how we're going to make the glow really pop out. Because one thing is to have a glow, sure, but considering that it's behind the flames, we really need to make even the glow move. Now, how do we make the glow move? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna teach y'all folks a little trick. So, now that we got all of this set up, wait, almost. There we go. Now that we got the little flame background set up, here's how we're gonna make this work. So, sorry there, folks. Dogs were barking. Anyway, so here's what we got to do. Now that we got this light set up, we're going to start at frame 1. Frame 1's going to be 100%. And we're going to drop frame 5. Since there's about 9 frames. Oh, I know how I could do this. So frame 5 is going to drop down to at least 50. So this is where it's going to be its most dim. So since this is 100 and this is 50, that means we just got to put three numbers between that. So we go over here. 80. Actually, no, let's start with 90 first. Go over here. Put OK. Then this one. is going to be 70. Then go to frame 4. Drop it down to 60. And then we got 50. And then go back over here, which is going to be 60. Go to number 7. Make that 70. Then frame over here becomes 80. Actually, considering it, well, let me try something first. Let's start with 80. And then 100. Wait, that's supposed to be 90. So let's go back to 80 over here and put that at 90. And then we put OK. And now let's see the end results. Let's see how it goes. And honestly, I think that would be okay, except there's just one slight issue here. When it's at its brightest, the shine becomes its most dim. And I feel like that's a problem. Let's go to where it's at its brightest. Let's see. That one I think works fine. That one also works fine. It gets dimmer there, but yeah, that part gets dim. That part gets dim. This is where it's at its brightest, so let's actually put this at 100. This is where it should actually be at its brightest right there. Here is where it should get dim, so let's actually put that at 70. Actually, you know what? 60. And right here should actually be... Yeah, you know what? Let's still keep that one at... Actually, no. Let's put that one at 80. So let's see. 100, pretty bright. I think I could bring this down to... No, let's leave that one at 100. That one, 90 seems fine. Here, actually, yeah, 70 seems fine. 60, 50. Wait, actually, let me see. $60. This should also be 50 now that I think about it. So 50, 60, 50, 60, 100. All right, let's see how frantic. Yeah, let's see how frantic this gets now. Honestly, I think that works. Because just as how the flame is frantic, so is the lighting effect. So I think this works just fine. Go back to this one though, because I feel like I need to add a little bit more orange. Just right over here at the bottom is all. And then we get this bright shade one more time and add that closer to the bottom here. Too much. Let's bring this back down a bit. Now let's see if it stays. Yep, there we go. And all right, I think we got what I was looking for here. What do y'all folks think? We got the animation, we got the flame, we got the fire. Actually, we need to make one last test. We need to see something. Let's zoom out. Let's see from afar. Can we still see it? We can still see the cursed figure. I think that works just fine. Let me see something, though. Let me go back to it right quick. Let me look back on this little figure. I know what I need to do. We might actually need to bring this up just a little bit more. Just undim the shading just a little bit. Maybe instead of 30, let's put it at 30. Or maybe instead of 40, let's put it at 35. Because 30 was a little too bright. And 40 may have been a little too dark. But now, I think this rendering works just right. We could even give it a little bit more of an orange tone if we really wanted to, but I think this works just fine. 10 out of 10. Thank you there, Night Night. I greatly appreciate that. We're going to save this for now. And I think since we just got this part of the emote finished, I mean, well, actually, I feel like we could still add a couple more things. So let's just add one last feature. Let's go back over here. Above the shadow, we put a new layer. Let's just get a slightly brighter and slightly more orange. That should be good. Just place that on certain spots, just to give it a little bit more rendering going on. But, Right, I forgot to switch earphones. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm off to bed now. Night night, everyone. All right there, Night Night. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. You go get that sleep. You go get that rest. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now, there, friend. We're just going to add the last pieces here. And then I myself am calling it a night, because I still got some other projects to work on. We are practically done. I just want to add some last key features. And yeah, now we're done. All right, I'm going to send this to Destroyer later today. Let's save right there. Let's let the animation run. And yeah, that works a lot better. Alrighty then. Let me go see. Where can we head on off? Which also reminds me, folks, I will be back on Thursday for... Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday for Elden Ring. If everything goes according to plan, I'm going to be joined by Mitrex, and we're going to be taking them to Hogwarts for Rhea Lucaria. Going to go learn that sorcery magic. Going to be wizards and stuff. And also going to try not to die. That part's easier said than done, though. Again, it's a Souls game, so dying's going to happen on the regular. Anyway, let's, yeah. I think we're done with this emote, so yeah. I will be back next time with a full art redeem. We got to work on the project for a Cam, the corgi. They said I could basically just run wild with our art piece, so we're going to see what we can do with that. Speaking of Cam, let's give a shout out to Cam the corgi. So we're going to work on that project for them tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. We're going to work on that project for them on Friday. Go check out the Cam the corgi if you want very chill streams. Thanks for the stream, Lampy. Hope you get good rest. Get that sleep. Yeah, sleep. Totally not gonna just hop on live 2D after. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Let's go see who is on at this hour. You know what? There's a strange possibility that I might know somebody that's on at this hour. Maybe, possibly, possible. Let me see. They are not on, unfortunately. That's okay. I know another person that is on, and they raided us a few times, and I haven't gotten the chance to raid them back, or at least I don't think I did. Maybe I did once. But since I don't remember, I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna go raid a Dead Muse. They are currently playing the V Rising. They are a vampire. And like I said, I've been meaning to hit them with that, or hit them with the raid as well, so I may have already done that, but just to be safe, let's do it again. Okay. Hop on Risk of Rain 2? That's a good idea. I should hop on Risk of Rain 2. I'm getting... Oh. I still have a cough. Oh, I'm getting better. I still have a cough. chest infection pneumonia knocked me out for like 2 weeks. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeesh, pneumonia ain't no joke. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad to hear that you're recovering. 'Cause yeah, that's a rough one. You know what? Here's gonna be our animate. Yeah, here's gonna be our raid message. Fire, fire everywhere. There we go. This is our raid message. Use those emotes if you have them. Use whatever emotes you have if you don't. And let me make sure that they're still there. Yeah, they're going to be there for a while. Let's raid them before it's too late. We're going to go raid a dead muse. Let's go show them some support. Also, for those of you that are there, if you would like to support the channel, one good way you can do so is by checking out the link page. We got a lot of options over there. We got affordable models on the Etsy page. We got free stuff on the Coffee page. We also have merch on the Teespring page that was drawn by yours truly. And if you want to expedite the processing of the Lampy plushies showing up, you can also go to the throne. And if you or someone you know is looking for emotes, animations, character sheets, character concepts, live 2D models, both big and small, you can also go to the, you can either contact me directly or go to the vgen page. And you'll find all the details there. With that being said, thank you all for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. You're all awesome in your own way because you folks make these streams in this community what it is. It's awesome chatting with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that good stuff. And if you lurk, that's great too. But the fact that you took the time out of your day to have this bug drawing and rambling on in the background means more to me than you could possibly imagine. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And with that being said, I hope you all have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. Y'all take care now. I wish I could commission Lampy for an emote. Cover you. Which reminds me, I'm going to be working on yours this coming week. So look forward to that. I'm going to try to draw it on stream too, if you don't mind. Anyway, y'all take care now. Go show, treat dead muse with respect. Give them all the support, all of that good stuff. And laters.